It's day 2 of the Fullerton NCAA Regional Losers Bracket game. It's an elimination game. The winner moves on, and the loser will go home. First ever meeting between the University of San Diego and St. Louis U. Welcome to Goodwin Field on the campus of Cal State Fullerton. Day 2 of the Fullerton Regional, and game 1 features the St. Louis Billikens and the San Diego Toreros. Looking at the brackets in action last night, it was Fresno State outlasting San Diego, and then in our second and final game, Cal State Fullerton over St. Louis U. Hello again, everyone. Welcome to Goodwin Field in Fullerton, along with Darnell Cole, Zion Mark Neely. Great games yesterday, and here for game 2, day 2, the elimination game between San Diego and St. Louis U. Billikens get beat by the host team, Fullerton, but really represented themselves very well, Darnell, and it really was amplified in Bill Musselman, their catcher.
Yes, it does, and Bill struggled as a freshman, struggled as a sophomore, came through as a junior, hitting 100 points higher than he did last year. And the thing about it is that he's a team leader. He works hard, he runs, he dives, he controls that pitching staff, and they're going to need every ounce of that for them to have success today.
Great effort by Musselman. This is a spectacular play. Even though he doesn't get to this ball backing up first base, the diving effort, absolutely tremendous. Shows you the kind of gutsy player that Musselman is. Now for the University of San Diego, a difficult loss for them in yesterday's game. One of their team leaders and leading hitters, second baseman Keone Ruth, was injured in the game. And it happened on this play. It was a ground ball towards the middle. Ruth was headed to his right and immediately knew that the left shoulder was a problem, a dislocated left shoulder. And he may play this weekend, but is not in the starting lineup tonight. And who does that put the onus on?
It puts the onus on shortstop Steve Singleton. You lose one leader and you have to lean on another. The thing about him is that he's a quiet leader. He doesn't talk a whole lot, but he's very motivated, and he comes out and brings it every day, and he's going to have to bring it today for them to be successful.
St. Louis U in the NCAA tournament for the first time in 40 years. San Diego in its third NCAA tournament, all in the last 5 seasons. Billikens, Toreros, up next. Lots of sun and a temperature in the 90s here at Goodwin Field. Second day of the Fullerton Regional. We have the 4-seed St. Louis and the 3-seed San Diego in an elimination game. Lineup for the Billikens. Geyer leading off, followed by Ryan Crespi, and Johnny Sweeney comes in, not only the team leader in doubles, but carries an 18-game hitting streak into this game. And on the mound for San Diego, Brian Mattis.
And he's a freshman, 4th-round draft pick by the LA Angels of Anaheim. Fastball, curveball change, made all West Coast Conference all-freshman team. Was honorable mention also, but he's got to come in the strike zone today to be successful against a very good St. Louis team.
So we're underway. John Geyer, the center fielder, leading off. Geyer 0 for 4 with a run scored, scoring the only slew run in their loss to Fullerton last night. Left-hander Mattis gets a strike over, and 1-1 is the count. Mattis from Cave Creek, Arizona. On the inside corner to Geyer. 1 ball and 2 strikes. A couple of homers, 21 RBIs on the year for John Geyer out of DeSmet High School in West St. Louis County. Breaking ball is low for Mattis. Interesting to watch Mattis' delivery here right from the get-go. Slow then fast, I guess is the best way to describe it, Darnell.
I think he kind of changes a little bit based on the fact that he's trying to keep the hitter off balance. And anytime you're doing that, and sometimes you step behind the mound, take a deep breath, and try and recompose yourself. John Geyer's done a great job here leading off, allowing his team to see a lot of pitches early in this ballgame.
Fastball high to Geyer, and that's the way the game begins. A walk to the Billikens center fielder. Looking at the defense for San Diego in this game. We're at first base. Daniel Magnus, only 1 error on the season. Lilly and Singleton on the left side of the infield. Snyder, Romansky, and Buschini in the outfield for the Toreros. Nobody out for right fielder Ryan Crespi.
That's one thing St. Louis didn't do last night. They did not get a leadoff hitter on.
Shortening up, Crespi takes ball one, and that's going to send the catcher Abruzzo out to the mound.
So they didn't get an opportunity to hit and run or move runners.
Temperature in the low 90s, a little bit of a breeze out of the southwest. The humidity getting up there a little bit. It's safe to say a little warm.
A little toasty.
Nobody out in the St. Louis U first, just underway in this Fullerton Regional Day 2. Shortening up, Crespi takes high, 2 balls, no strikes.
That's the one thing you can't do is fall behind these St. Louis hitters. Very patient. It's been beat into their head. You know, so you've got to make sure that you throw strikes, especially early in the count, early in the game, so that you can keep them off balance like last night.
Crespi wanting to bunt, but it's down and in, and Mattis has fallen behind. 3 balls, no strikes. Steve Singleton, the shortstop, comes in for San Diego. We mentioned in the open about Singleton, really kind of the team leader out there now with Keone Ruth in the dugout. Singleton, a junior. 3-0 pitch from Mattis. They had a strike call on Crespi. Ryan Crespi from Sparta, New Jersey. In fact, that's his nickname on the St. Louis U team, is Jersey. Lays the bunt down. Magnus looked to second and then throws late to first. Now the second baseman Hansen got over to the bag, but Magnus took a long, maybe too long look at second base with Geyer heading that way. And they don't get it out anyway.
Well, I think if he throws right away, because the ball's bunted hard, if he throws right away, he has a chance to get him there. But with that having been said, it takes a little too long to throw the ball to first. The pitcher comes to the pitcher right about there, so he doesn't want to hit him. Throws late to first base. Now you have runners on first and second with no outs and the number 3 hitter coming up.
So base hit for Crespi on that play. Just trying to bunt the runner over and sacrifice, and instead St. Louis U has 2 on, nobody out. And a first inning visit by Rich Hill.
And he's just coming out just to let them know, obviously, that can't happen under any circumstances. This elimination game, so if you lose, you go home. So he's just making sure that everybody's on the same page. But that having been said, you also want to make sure that if there's a bunt, we know exactly what we're doing. We struggled on the bunt play that time. We want to make sure that in a situation like this, if the ball's bunted to third base, we just want to take the out and take our chances with the number 4 hitter with runners on second and third. But if the ball's bunted to first base, we may have a chance to throw the runner out of the third. So we want to make sure that everybody's charging and in the right spot.
So nobody out. And St. Louis University with a first inning opportunity and have their hottest hitter at the plate, Johnny Sweeney, the left fielder. An 18-game hitting streak. He extended it with 2 hits last night, 2 for 4 with an RBI. Shortening up, Sweeney takes a strike.
And the reason Sweeney would probably be bunting in this situation would be because he's hitting off a left-handed pitcher. Obviously a lot tougher for a lefty on lefty. If there was a right-handed pitcher, he'd be more apt to let him swing away. In a situation like this, you're trying to move runners and put runners in scoring position and score as quickly as you possibly can.
Bunt down, good bunt. Mattis picks it up. He'll have to hurry, and the throw in time. A 1-4 sacrifice bunt for Sweeney, who nearly beat that out. Sweeney's sacrifice puts runners at second and third. Great bunt.
Nice job of getting this ball down. Runs hard all the way through first base. Mattis almost takes a little too much time, but he's got a strong enough arm to throw a strike to first base.
So 2 in scoring position for cleanup hitter Greg Rogers, the DH, and he gets drilled by a fastball and the bases are loaded.
That's more nerves than anything else. You're trying to get that fastball in. Sure, the intention was not to hit him, but you want to make sure that you get it in there. And obviously, he did hit him, so he's not real upset about that because now he's got a chance to get out of the inning with a double play. But you got to make sure that you pitch to your scouting reports, and if the scouting report says you got to pound somebody in and the ball gets away a little bit, so be it.
Slew with the bases loaded. 1 out, and here's catcher Bill Musselman. 1 for 3 game with a double and a walk last night. A chance to give the Billikens the early lead. Down low from Mattis, ball 1.
That's the difference in him from this year to last year. Like we talked about in the open, he's hitting 100 points higher than he did last year, but he's got a game plan now. He just doesn't go up and swing and not have quality at bats. He goes up with a game plan and generally takes it into the ballgame like he did last night. He had a double to right center field.
Up and away, 2 balls, no strikes. I think your comment on the nerves for Brian Mattis has hit that right on the head. He's a little erratic here to begin the game. Your team is facing elimination. I can understand there's some butterflies. Both teams come in with 32 wins on the year. St. Louis U 32-28. San Diego 32-24. Got it past Musselman there. 2 balls and a strike.
He got the pitch he was looking for, fastball. Mattis has got a little bit extra giddy up on that ball, especially up in the strike zone. You got to make him get the ball down. Most lefties have a little run to their ball, and that ball ran just slightly away from Billy Musselman.
The 1 pitch. That evens the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Geyer is at third. He's the lead runner. Crespi at second. And Rogers at first. As you saw, St. Louis U did not execute in this situation in their loss to Fullerton last night. 2-2 pitch. That's popped up and will stay in play. Infield fly affair, and it is a fair ball. It's caught by Magnus. 2 outs.
So far in this tournament, they are 0 for 8 with runners in scoring position. Tough to win ball games like that.
So now with the bases loaded and 2 outs, a left-handed hitter comes up for Bob Hughes' team. There's Bob Hughes, head coach at St. Louis U in his 18th season. Just enjoyed his 2nd winning season. And Slew history under Bob Hughes. Ball 1 outside. Tim Landy, the first baseman. .255 average for the senior, who's already actually gotten his degree in marketing. Landy rips it foul down the left field side. 1 ball and 1 strike.
You talk about Bob Hughes in his 18th year. He's got a tremendous passion for the game. Loves the fact that they've gone from Conference USA to the Atlantic 10 Conference. He just loves to be around the game.
Already a high pitch count for Mattis. Breaky ball.
And when you're looking at that high pitch count, you're looking at that ball to strike ratio. That's 12 balls to 10 strikes. This ball's just off the plate. And when you're all over the place, you are not going to get that pitch.
The plate umpire Terry Harrison motioning that was a little outside. Swing and a miss. And he went up after 1. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 walks and an infield hit, which actually was a botched bunt.
2-2 to Landy. Back to the mound. Like a goaltender, Mattis was a force at any base, throws to first to retire the side. So San Diego gets out of the jam. There was 2 on, nobody out, bases loaded, 1 out. And Slew fails to score and leaves them loaded. A tough beginning for Bob Hughes. His team looked like they were going to take the early lead. We take a look at the Billikens and Toreros. St. Louis U, ERA just over 4. Same with the Toreros. San Diego a better team batting average. Really neither team hits a lot of home runs, and San Diego has proven to be a little better defensive team this year.
Well, they're very comparable. They both play good defense. They both swing the bat well. But they're both teams that don't hit a lot of home runs. They're gap to gap. They move runners. They bunt. They have to do different ways to manufacture runs. But they found a way to make their way into the tournament, and one of these teams is going to move on today, and give themselves a chance to possibly move on to super regionals. They're going to have a tough time going through the losers bracket, but it can be done.
San Diego Toreros have Snyder in center field leading off, and Josh Romanski moves up to the 2-hole today, playing left field, followed by Singleton, Abruzzo, Lilly, Daniel Magnus, Gelbrick, Fushini, and Kevin Hansen batting ninth, playing second base. On the hill for St. Louis U, junior right-hander Eric Rohr.
And Eric is generally 88 to 92 miles an hour. Change of speed. He had Tommy John surgery in 2004. He's got a fastball, curveball, change, occasional knuckleball. Look forward to seeing that. Very competitive, and he just needs to calm his nerves early. We saw it on the other side from a 2, so he's got to find a way to control it.
Billikens defense. Sweeney, Geyer, and Crespi in the outfield. With John Geyer, 3 errors on the season, patrolling center. Rodrigue, Moore on the left side, Mack and Landy on the right. And it's the impressive Bill Musselman behind the plate for St. Louis University. John Geyer manning center field for St. Louis U.
With that war paint he puts on, that's a special way he does that.
And eye blacks all over the place. Justin Snyder, the center fielder, leads off for San Diego. No score, bottom of the first inning. Snyder 1 for 5 with an RBI in their loss to Fresno State. Rohr pours in a strike. Snyder, honorable mention, all West Coast Conference this year. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. The pitch is low, 2 balls, 1 strike. I assume we're not going to see that knuckleball very often unless he gets ahead in the count.
No, no, we're not.
Time is called at the plate. Snyder leading off the San Diego first inning. Three balls and a strike. The 3-1 pitch. Line left center field. Geyer moves over to make the catch. 1 out. So Geyer making the play for the first out. Sends up left fielder Josh Romanski. We're here at Goodwin Field on the campus of Cal State Fullerton. Day 2 of the Fullerton Regional. An elimination game. We're early. St. Louis University and the University of San Diego. Slew had a chance in the first. Loaded the bases with 1 out. Did not score. And 1 out. Nobody on in the bottom of the first for San Diego. Mark Neely along with Darnell Coles. On a sunny, hot, late afternoon in Southern California. Here's Josh Romanski, the left fielder. Squares and takes outside. 3 balls, no strikes. Eric Rohr fell behind the first hitter, Snyder, 3-1. Got him on a liner to center. Now his 3-0 pitch is high, ball 4, and he walks Romanski on 4 straight. Brian Mannix, the starter for San Diego, showed a few nerves in the first inning, top half, and I think seen a few nerves from Eric Rohr. Taking a look at the Fullerton Regional. This is St. Louis and San Diego in the losers bracket. Loser of this game finished for the year. Winner stays alive. Coming up later tonight, we'll have Fresno State and Cal State Fullerton. Steve Singleton takes a strike. A junior from Oakland, Bishop O'Dowd High School. Was recruited by Stanford, Notre Dame, Baylor, Santa Clara. A check on the runner, Romanski, who has 4 steals in 5 attempts. One on, one out in the San Diego first inning. A fly ball to right center field. Geyer on the run, still going. Reaches up and makes the catch on the warning track. Back to first goes Romanski. That ball carried very well just to the right of dead center.
As it did yesterday in the early game. Fresno State against University of San Diego. The ball jet streams out of here to right center field. The ball wasn't hit all that well. Geyer ran a long way to right center field to make a nice catch.
Jordan Abruzzo, switch hitting catcher. Batting in the 4 hole for San Diego. When the sun's out and it's hot, all seems to carry a little better here, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Eric Rohr over to first.
I think at night here, the air starts to get a little heavier. With the humidity, it kind of keeps the ball in somewhat better than it does during the daytime, but not much.
High and away and off the glove of Musselman, and down to second goes Romanski. Wild pitch is charged to Rohr.
This ball is overthrown. There's not much he can do on that. The ball is tailing. See the ball start to tail to the third base side. You're not expecting the ball to do that.
Abruzzo batting with a runner in scoring position now. Must have been looking over to the dugout. Relaying the sign to Eric Rohr. Rohr misses high again. 2 balls and no strikes. 48 RBIs for Abruzzo. In 2004 as a freshman, was the West Coast Conference Freshman of the Year. Little bloop, and that's over the head of Mack into right center. Romanski headed for the plate, and he'll score. So Abruzzo picks up his team-leading 49th RBI, and it's 1-0 San Diego.
That wild pitch was just as good as a sacrifice. Moved the runner into scoring position, and Abruzzo hits the ball right off his fists in the right center field for an easy RBI. Does a good job of staying back. Scores easily. Make it 1-0 San Diego U.
Well, Romanski scores the first run of the game. Ryan Lilly at the plate. He chops it to third. Rodriguez grabs it in the coach's box, foul. Ryan Lilly from Tucson went to Canyon del Oro High School. Was a first-team All-Arizona running back in high school. A 2-sport star at Canyon del Oro. Lilly hits the curveball to third, and Rodriguez gathers himself, makes the throw across the diamond to win the inning. But San Diego scores first. They get a run on only 1 hit, and a wild pitch helped out. At the end of 1-0 Toreros. Here in Fullerton to the top of the second inning, 1-0 San Diego in this elimination game. The winner stays alive and the loser's season comes to an end. Well, the NCAA Baseball Regionals continue on ESPNU later tonight. Our second game, the 2-seed Fresno State meeting the 1-seed Cal State Fullerton. The NCAA Baseball Regionals on ESPNU later tonight, 11 Eastern, 8 o'clock out here on the West Coast. For more information, log on to ESPN.com. It's going to be a fun ball game. Fresno beat San Diego in their first game. Fullerton beat St. Louis U, and Fullerton going to have Wes Romer on the hill. Looking forward to that. And a good one here in this elimination game. St. Louis University, their first trip to the NCAA tournament this year in 40 years. B.J. Rodriguez, the third baseman, leading off for the Billikens. Bottom three come up. Acts the first pitch, fouled back.
St. Louis U is just not happy to be here. They feel like they belong. They had last night's game where they lost to Cal State Fullerton, and they felt like they didn't swing the bats like they were capable of. But they bring a tremendous amount of enthusiasm and a Midwest brand of baseball that's fun to watch.
No balls, 2 strikes. Is that Midwest brand of baseball kind of handed down from the big league team there, the Cardinals? St. Louis is such a good baseball city.
I think so, because head coach Bob Hughes throws a lot of batting practice to those St. Louis Cardinal batters. He's been throwing batting practice there for the last 20 years. So he's had a few meetings with Tony La Russa.
Before that, Joe Torre. You played under Joe then, right?
Yes, I did. I think in Joe's case, the best thing that ever happened to him is that he got fired in St. Louis.
It's worked out pretty well in the Bronx, hasn't it?
Yes, it has.
Rodriguez, 2-2 pitch. Chopped out to short. Singleton waits on it. Uses his arm and gets Rodriguez by a couple of steps. 1 out. Well, San Diego out of the West Coast Conference. They're an at-large bid into this NCAA tournament. Finished third in the West Coast Conference behind Pepperdine and San Francisco. Fullerton automatic as the Big West champ. Fresno got in automatically as the Western Athletic Conference champion. And SLU automatic winning the Atlantic 10 tournament. So 3 California teams and 1 team from the Show Me State out here.
Which shows you how strong that West Coast Conference was, being that San Diego was the number 3 seed and got in that large bid. So that shows you just how strong that conference was.
Lined into right center field. Ziggy Moore, the shortstop, as the second St. Louis hit. Moore on with 1 out.
Number 21, Matt Mack.
To the 9 hole in the Billikens order.
On, Mark. On, Matt.
Matt Mack, the second baseman, standing in. Strike on the outside corner. Mack also plays for the St. Louis University men's soccer team. A lot of history with that program.
On, Matt.
When his teammates are asked to identify who's the crazy one on the team, pretty unanimous it's Matt Mack that they point to. This is an interesting guy. Bounces it towards the middle. Singleton, flip to second out, relay to first, and a double play. 6-4-3 DP ends the inning. First double play turned by San Diego in this Fullerton Regional. And the Toreros lead St. Louis 1-0. Here in Fullerton, the elimination game between St. Louis University and the University of San Diego into the bottom of the second. San Diego turning the first double play we've seen here in the Fullerton Regional. And Singleton, a nice job here. Darnell did not lay back. He charged this ball and it helped him turn 2.
he got rid of this ball in a hurry. Boom. Bam. Just like that. Kevin Hansen turns a nice double play. Because if you do anything short of what he did, you won't turn this play. He gets rid of that ball in a hurry and easily turns that double play.
There's Steve Singleton.
We talked about in the open that he needs to step up, and he's done just that, turning that double play.
Daniel Magnus, the first baseman, to lead off the Toreros second. 6, 7, and 8 batters for San Diego. The lefty Magnus shoots it deep down the left field side. It's slicing, and it lands just fair into the corner. Sweeney able to pick it up, but Magnus coast into second with a leadoff double. 6th two-base hit of the year for Daniel Magnus.
Nice piece of hitting by Daniel Magnus. Doesn't try to do too much. Pokes this ball down the left field line. Ends up on second for a double.
Second hit of the game for San Diego. And they put the leadoff hitter on base for the first time. Logan Gelbrick, the DH. We're here in the Los Angeles area, Santa Monica's Catholic High School. St. Monica's, I should say. To third. And won't move the runner over. Rodriguez throws him out at first. Rodriguez was playing in a couple of steps in case there was a bunt. Gelbrick instead hit it on one hop to him.
I'm sure Logan would tell you that would not be considered a good at bat. The first pitch swinging and roll over on a ground ball to third. He did everything that Eric Rohr wanted him to do. Just throw a ball inside and have him roll over on the ball. But if you're going to miss, you're going to miss on the first base side, so you can at least move the runner and have a runner at third with less than 2 outs.
Right fielder Shane Buschini. Ball one outside from Eric Rohr. Buschini from San Ramon, California. Also played water polo and football, as well as soccer. Played 4 different sports at California High School. 1 ball, 1 strike. Water polo is an interesting sport. We don't get to see a lot of that.
No, but you've got to be at some kind of shape to be able to swim and stay above water and move your feet and grab a ball and fake it and pass it and throw it.
Turn and a look to second by Rohr. Magnus led off the inning with a double. A check swing. Buschini held up. 2 balls and a strike.
With first base open, Eric Rohr is not going to make a mistake on the inside part of the plate. Trying to get him out of the way. Ran the first 3 pitches on the outside corner or off the outside corner to get him to kind of roll over on a ground ball to second base. So he's got to take what he gives him. If he walks him, it sets up a double play, but it also puts 2 runners on.
That runs inside, off the inside corner. 3 balls and a strike.
Pitching is about working fast, throwing strikes, and changing speeds, but pitching to your strength. And if your strength is pitching in, you got to continue to do that.
3-1. Ground ball right side, and that'll get through. Magnus will be held up at third. Crespi comes up throwing. Blocked by Musselman, and it's a single for Buschini, and runners are at the corners.
Great job by Bill Musselman of coming out in front of the plate and blocking that ball. But Eric Rohr made a mistake out over the plate. Buschini did exactly what he wanted to. That ball's supposed to have been on the outside corner. Does a good job of just staying through that ball. Doesn't try and do too much with it and just pulled it right through the hole.
First hit of the regional for Buschini. Here's Kevin Hansen batting in the 9th spot for San Diego. Torero's leading St. Louis U 1-0 in this elimination game, bottom of the 2nd. And the squeeze is on. The suicide squeeze picked up, low throw by the pitcher, but in time. And it's 2-0 San Diego. Now the runner, Magnus, was going with the pitch from third, so it made it a suicide squeeze bunt.
Nice call here by head coach Rich Hill. Had the perfect guy up in the perfect situation. So he broke before. If you see that the runner's not breaking, it's a safety squeeze. And the runner's just waiting for the ball to be bunted, but that was a suicide squeeze. And he was running before the ball had actually gotten to home plate. Perfect bunt.
So brings in the 2nd run of the game for the Toreros. It also moved Buschini down to 2nd. 2 outs in the inning, top of the order. Justin Snyder lined out to center in his first at bat. He smokes one deep to right field. Crespi can do nothing but watch it sail out of here. 3rd homer of the year for Justin Snyder. And San Diego taking a 4-0 lead. RBIs 31 and 32 for Snyder.
In this ballpark, you have to keep the ball down, especially during the daytime. He gets a fastball up and out over the plate, and this ball is just hammered to right field. Look at the finish and the follow through, and that's the end result. 2-run home run.
Snyder greeted by his teammates after his 2-run shot. His 2nd hit of the regional. Wes Sells, pitching coach for St. Louis U, out to talk with Eric Rohr. St. Louis U had a great chance to take the lead in this game, loaded the bases with 1 out in the top of the 1st. Did not score. It's really changed the tone of the game.
Yes, it has, and Brian Matus has kind of settled down. Anytime you have that and you got an opportunity to drive in some runs early or at least put a lot of pressure on the San Diego team to see if they can play from behind, you got to do that. They had that opportunity and didn't. And now they find themselves behind 4-0.
You saw Dan Seaver getting up in the St. Louis U bullpen. Josh Romanski, who walked and scored in the 1st, batting with 2 outs. He gets into one. Deep to right. Crespi at the fences. It back-to-back home runs. It is. Romanski's 4th of the year. The Toreros go deep on back-to-back pitches. And it's 5-0. Nineteenth RBI for Romanski, who's already scored twice. Happy Torero fans up from San Diego.
Another fastball out up over the plate, up in the strike zone. Another nice swing, nice follow through. Back-to-back home runs. This is not a ballpark that you can pitch up in. You have got to pitch down in the strike zone, both sides of the plate.
Ball 1, Steve Singleton. 0 for 1, having flied to center. It has been a 4-run inning for San Diego. Josh Romanski and Snyder going back-to-back. And ball 2 from Eric Rohr. Fouled back by Singleton. Eric Rohr from Belleville, Illinois, St. Louis suburb, Belleville West High School. a criminal justice major. The 2-1. Low to Singleton, 3 balls and a strike.
Hey, Eric, let's go, Eric.
Singleton had 2 hits in their loss to Fresno State here last night. This time he walks. The second walk given up by Eric Rohr. Already up to 32 pitches for Rohr and more balls than strikes,
which is not good. And even if the ball to strike ratio is that bad, if you're keeping the ball down, you give yourself a chance. As head coach Bob Hughes comes out to trying to calm his nerves a little bit, but you've got to pitch down in the strike zone. If you pitch up in this ballpark, you will get hurt, and hurt in a hurry. And he's got that happened to him this inning. He's given up 4 runs.
Seaver's going to come on. St. Louis University will make a pitching change in this elimination game. 5-0 San Diego. Will come back after this timeout from Fullerton. Five 0 San Diego. Here in the bottom of the second inning, and St. Louis University using the pen early in this game, lifting Rohr and bringing in a right-hander, Dave Seaver. This is a kid that Bob Hughes really raved about as a find for their program.
Yeah, as a freshman, he's only 86 to 94. He has great movement. Got a nice breaking ball. His curveball is probably his best pitch. Goes right after hitters. But he occasionally has that trouble getting that third strike. But as a freshman, you can expect that. But again, in a situation like this, you give him an opportunity to pitch in an NCAA tournament for down the road, not necessarily for today. You want him to come in and kind of shut San Diego down. But if he's going to be your future, you want to get him in a game like this so he can get his feet wet, to get a feel for what it's like to pitch in an NCAA tournament.
So Rohr finished. Going an inning and 2/3. 5 earned runs, 5 hits. Here with the back-to-back homers to Snyder and Romanski. 2 down, Jordan Abruzzo, the catcher. All one from Dave Seaver. Abruzzo with a base hit to right center in the first inning is 1 for 1. Also picked up his team-high 49th RBI. Seaver paints the outside corner. Jordan Abruzzo, El Cajon, California, home for him. He hits one high and deep to right field. Crespi watches another one sail into the trees. That's the 6th of the season for Abruzzo. It's the 3rd Torero's home run of the inning. And it's 7-0. Three RBIs already in the game for Abruzzo.
Abruzzo's their main power source, and he's got a nice short stroke. He just absolutely crushes that ball into the trees in right center field.
So a 6-run inning. Here's the 9th man to bat, Ryan Lilly. 3 of the last 4 hitters for San Diego have hit home runs. Keep in mind the second out of this inning was the suicide squeeze bunt that brought in the first run. So there was only 1 run in, 2 outs. This ball to right center field. It'll stay in the park and is caught by Crespi to win the inning. But San Diego sends 9 to the plate and scores 6 times, including 3 home run balls from Snyder, Romanski, and Abruzzo. Big inning for San Diego, a 6-run second, 7-0 Toreros now to the top of the 3rd inning. You're on the campus of Cal State Fullerton. Titans will take on Fresno State later tonight, a game you can see right here on ESPNU. Now St. Louis U has some work ahead of them, but long way to go in the game.
Well, they've shown that they can get runners on. They've just got to find a way to find somebody to drive a run in.
Top of the order is up for St. Louis U. It's John Geyer, the center fielder. First pitch strike from Brian Mattis. Geyer walked to begin the game, but was stranded at 3rd base. Strike 2.
Brian's kind of settled in. He's not overthrowing, keeping the ball down in the strike zone. Still working fast, changing speeds, and using both sides of the plate.
That's high, a ball and 2 strikes. I think that you have just written the shortest book on pitching. Probably not going to sell many copies, but your work fast, throw strikes, and change speeds. That's nice. I like that. The breaking ball, strike 3 call. Getting Geyer first strikeout for Brian Mattis. Maybe you should have been a pitching coach, Darnell.
No, that is definitely not the case.
Ryan Crespi, the right fielder.
Nasty breaking ball. You got him set up for that with that fastball up and away. A lot of times you're trying to change the batter's eyes. And that he's thinking that pitch is going to be a fastball up for a ball and ends up breaking down in the strike zone for strike 3.
All right.
Well, 1 outside to Ryan Crespi.
All right.
Crespi with an infield hit his first time bunting. He's trying to sacrifice the runner. Rolls the ground ball to short. Singleton charges and throws. 2 outs. Ryan Mattis following the Darnell Coles pitching mantra. Those St. Louis fans will appreciate this. I always remember the story. Bob Gibson ran into a little rough spot. Tim McCarver, his catcher, came out. And you know, of course, what Gibson's attitude was.
Oh, yeah.
McCarver tried to come out and tell him something, and Gibson said to McCarver, "The only thing you know about hitting, McCarver, is that you can't hit it."
On 5.
Johnny Sweeney, left fielder leading off, sacrificed in his first plate appearance. Fouled back. And a lot of major league players, if you ask them during that 60s, early 70s, who was the toughest pitcher? Gibson comes up a lot for players who were in the National League. I'm going to ask that for you, since you played in both leagues. Who owned Darnell?
I mean, there's a couple guys that owned me. Roger Clemens was tough. Dwight Gooden was tough. And when I came in, Steve Carlton, Ron Guidry were still pitching.
3 balls and a strike.
And Steve Carlton and Ron Guidry had the nastiest slider from the left-hand side. And Randy Johnson was obviously nasty, too. He's probably the hardest thrower of all of them. Nolan Ryan was tough, too, because by the time he grunted, the ball was on top of you.
3-1 pitch, jammed him. Sweeney pops it foul back this way. Now, you played with Randy Johnson for a while.
Yes, I did.
In Seattle.
And Randy's one of those guys that you don't want to talk to the day he pitches. He doesn't want to hear it. Don't come near him.
Another one fouled back. Sometimes looking at Randy, I would talk to him the other 4 days. A little intimidating.
He is not a happy camper once he gets to the ballpark, but away from the ballpark with his family and friends, he's absolutely outstanding. But once he gets to that ballpark, it's all business.
Good inning right here.
Starting to pitch better for the Yankees. Line to first and a leaping catch. for Daniel Magnus. Things are going San Diego's way right now. 4 in a row retired by Mattis. We'll go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Toreros 7, Billikens nothing. San Diego leading St. Louis by a score of 7-0. Great to have you with us. It's been a great weekend, and a lot more baseball still to come from here in Fullerton. But in this game right now, San Diego are now really using the long ball effectively.
Yes, they are. And again, they've shown that if you throw them strikes, that they're willing to be patient enough to wait and get their pitch. And once they do, they've hit 3 home runs today. But the thing is that Brian Mattis has just shut them down. They've had a tremendous amount of opportunities today, and St. Louis has not come through. But the thing about it is San Diego has just stayed back and driven balls to gaps, driven balls over the fence. And that having been said, anytime that happens, it ends up putting big numbers up. And as you can see, they're winning 7-0 so far already in this ballgame.
On our game summary, the homers by Snyder, Romansky, and Abruzzo for San Diego. St. Louis 0 for 9 with runners in scoring position in this Fullerton Regional, not just this game, but that gives you an idea of the struggles that they have had out here in this Fullerton Regional offensively. Bottom of the 3rd inning. Daniel Magnus, who led off the 2nd with a double, an inning they would score 6 times in. Two balls, no strikes. Dave Seaver on the mound for St. Louis U. Out of Burr Ridge, Illinois, up near Chicago. Strike call. Seaver actually was wanting to go to Dartmouth. Had an SAT of 1380. Was unable to get in there. Ground ball in the right field, a base hit for Magnus, his 2nd hit.
Unable to get in with a 1380.
I think I had half that. Needless to say, I went to public university.
Wow.
But he winds up on the campus of St. Louis U and falls in the lap of Bob Hughes, and they're really happy with what they've seen from Dave Seaver. He comes in first day they see him throw. He's throwing 93, 94. Bob Hughes' jaw drops, and he's like, hey, how did you get away from some other programs? So they look for a lot of great things from Dave Seaver on the mound for St. Louis U over the next several years. Strike call. Gilbrick shortened to bunt. Gilbrick 0 for 1 with a ground out to 3rd. Seaver, who beat the top-seeded Rhode Island team in the Atlantic 10 tournament, sees this one roped to right, and it will drop in a couple of feet fair. Gilbert on his way to 2nd, held up at 3rd is Magnus. Throw coming to the plate. And San Diego already up 7-0, has runners at 2nd and 3rd with nobody out. After Gilbert's 5th two-base hit of the year. Well, now we know why Fresno State was so concerned barely getting out with a 1-run win against the San Diego team. The Toreros can swing the bat.
Well, nice piece of hitting. Ryan Crespi has a little trouble, just fair. Has a little trouble down in that corner getting the ball back in. Head coach Rich Hill, the 3rd base coach for San Diego, shuts the running down. Especially when you got this big left-hander coming up.
Shane Buschini takes a low strike.
In the windup, base hit, scores 2.
I mean, the reason he shut him down because you have a chance to have a huge inning, but if you get him thrown out at home plate,
In the windup.
it gives St. Louis a little life.
No balls, 2 strikes. What's the old adage? You don't want to make the first out at home plate?
Or third.
Or 3rd base. Now we have another chapter. We've got your pitching mantra. Now we can start on the offensive side. We're going to have Darnell Cole's baseball book by the end of the weekend. Nobody out in the Toreros' third inning. Seaver looked for the outside corner and just missed it.
And that is a good pitch. The first base open, you're not trying to give him a whole lot to hit. If he's going to hit you, you want him to hit you the other way and not pull the ball through that hole.
The 1-2 to Buschini. Down low, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Dave Seaver beat Rhode Island. He was the top seed in the Atlantic 10 tournament. Won that game 3-2 through 9 innings. It was his 4th complete game of the year. Named to the Atlantic 10 All-Rookie team. Breaking ball stayed up, fouled back.
Ooh, that was a hanger. That was definitely a mistake that he got away with. Hanging breaking ball. Look at the swing at this one. He was definitely not looking to get a base hit.
It was hung so high, it was. Hitter got under it a little bit. 2-2 is up and away. Full count on Buschini.
Buschini's had an outstanding at bat. Just missed a hanging breaking ball. Fouled another pitch back. Took a close pitch that was called a strike and took 2 pitches off the plate. He's done a good job of just battling here with no outs with runners on second and third.
The 3-2. Maybe a little bit low, and a walk to Buschini has loaded the bases. This was very close.
Yes, it was. That ball's just below his knees.
Bob Hughes, who served in Vietnam, 1970, earned a Purple Heart and 2 Bronze Stars. Hansen up there hacking, fouls it away. Hansen laid down the suicide squeeze bunt an inning ago. It was the first run of a 6-run second for San Diego. Bases loaded, nobody out for San Diego. Into right field, down in front of Crespi. Throw home will be cut off. An RBI single for Hansen. Second RBI of the game, and it's 8-0.
Nice job of not trying to do too much. Ball's up but out over the plate. And his game is not to try and hit the ball out of the ballpark. He's more of a singles hitter, just gap to gap. He very rarely gets out of his game, as you saw right there. He did a nice job of just flipping that ball in the right field.
Justin Snyder, 1 for 2. With a 2-run home run to right an inning ago. Seaver's 1-0. 2 balls, no strikes. Bases are full of Toreros. Hansen at first. After his RBI base hit. This is an elimination game. The winner stays alive. The loser calls it a season. Strike on the inside corner.
Let's go, Dave.
Snyder's home run was his 3rd of the year. Dave Seaver on in relief of the starter Eric Rohr for St. Louis U. Down the left field side. Rodriguez chasing. Can he catch up to it? No, not quite. Well, Snyder started the barrage, as it turned out, with this home run to right field. Romanski would follow that on the next pitch with a homer, and Abruzzo 2 batters later would also homer.
And all 3 of those pitches were in about the same spot, up and out over the plate. And like we talked about and continue to talk about, the ball's blowing, the wind blowing across from left field to right field, and the balls are just jet streaming out of here to right center field.
Down the left field line, Sweeney on the run, and near the line makes the catch in fair territory. Lead runner will tag and score. The other runners hold up. And it's 9-0. Third RBI of the game for Justin Snyder.
Nice job here by the third base runner, just making sure that he catches the ball. There's no way he's going to throw you out, but you make sure he catches the ball. 1001, tag and go. He was coming in on the ball. It might be a play where you tag just as he tried to catch it. A situation like that where you know he has no chance of throwing you out. Did a great job of just waiting, tagging up, taking his time and scoring.
So Gelbrich scored on the play. Josh Romanski, the left fielder, is up. 1 for 1 with a solo homer, a walk, and has already scored twice. Seavers 1-0. Romanski sends it in the air, left center field. Geyer over in the alley makes the catch. A bluff of a tag from Buschini at second. The runners hold 2 outs. So they get Romanski, the 2006 West Coast Conference Freshman of the Year.
Shortstop number 1, Steve Singleton.
Geyer's had a busy day already in center field. That eye black. It's like he's got 2 sevens on his face. One of them inversed. Singleton has walked and scored. Fly to center. Falls behind 0-1. Two on, 2 outs in the San Diego third. Out of play left side. By the way, there is no mercy rule in the NCAA tournament. This game will go 9 innings, regardless of score. That should have been borne out when we saw the Florida State 18-0 win, which was actually completed today. Oh, 2 count on Singleton. Slew just not getting those close pitches either.
Well, no, and that's based on the fact that you're a little up, a little low, a little in, a little out. I mean, you're kind of all over the place. If you're somewhat near the plate or near the strike zone, you'll get an occasional call like that. But when you're struggling to get the ball over, it makes it tough on the umpire.
Fouled out of play left side. So Maddox and Glavin can get that call, but Mitch Williams probably didn't much in his career.
No, he did not.
Slew trying to end this bottom of the third inning and get back in the dugout.
Don't trip. Right here. Oh, save.
Fouled away. 9 runs, 9 hits for San Diego. Slew scoreless on 2 hits. Do they really need the rally caps right now? I guess they're working.
Not at this stage of the game. You kind of use that in a close game.
Strike 3 on the inside corner. First strikeout for Dave Seaver. Toreros tack on 2 more on 3 hits, and at the end of 3, San Diego 9, St. Louis nothing. Day 2 of the Fullerton Regional. This is an elimination game. The San Diego Toreros leading St. Louis University. The Billikens 9-0. And San Diego used a 6-run second. They have scored in every inning so far. And we're joined by the Toreros head coach, Rich Hill. Rich, your team really hasn't been a club that's used the long ball a lot this year. What's gotten into your team?
Well, we watched Fresno State yesterday, I think, and learned a thing or two from them. No, I mean, we walked in. That's the first thing we looked at is the flag today, and this ballpark in the afternoon really, balls can really jump out of here.
Coach, Brian Mattis struggled in the first inning. You come out, you talk to him, he settled down. What exactly did you say to him and your infielders?
Well, I said we basically have a new second baseman out there, as you guys know, Kevin Hansen. Hanny got a little confused there. I wanted to make sure that we were okay on the bunt play. There's first and second, no outs. And I just told Brian, hey, man, start this inning over right now. You belong here. Let's stay tall, right, and not rush so much. You're going to strike the next two guys out. You're going to get them to pop up. They're not going to be able to hit your stuff. Just try to instill a little confidence in them, slow the tempo down.
It worked out that way. Coach, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Rich Hill, 8th season as head coach for the University of San Diego. His team with a 9-0 lead at the top of the 4th inning. Brian Mattis, the freshman from the Phoenix area, Cave Creek, Arizona. Cleanup hitter Greg Rogers, the DH. Leading off. Rogers walked in the first. Ball 2 outside for Mattis. Rogers, Musselman, and Landy in the slew 4th inning. 3-0.
All right, let's go. Next pitch. Okay.
And a 4-pitch walk to Greg Rogers to begin the 4th. Glad we're not talking to Rich Hill right now. That doesn't make a head coach very happy.
No, not at all. The key is going to be how Brian Mattis pitches with a 9-run lead. You're not trying to be too fine. You want to stay within your means. You don't want to try and do too much, but you have to throw strikes. You don't want to make mistakes up in the strike zone because they've shown that the ball will travel out of this ballpark, but you have to consider the fact that you've got a 9-run lead and you have to continue to go after these hitters and stay aggressive.
Catcher Bill Musselman, 0 for 1, having popped to first. Mattis still can't find the strike zone, and the catcher Abruzzo out to visit with him. Probably repeating what you just said, DC. That's another chapter of the book. Slowly coming together. Slowly coming together.
Slowly coming together.
1 in the first, 6 in the second, 2 in the third for San Diego. St. Louis batting top of the 4th. Strike call on Musselman. First strike brought in by Mattis. Musselman, a first team all-conference player, Atlantic 10. A combined 1 for 4 in this Fullerton Regional. Out in front, swings and misses.
This is a big at bat for him. We talked earlier about him stepping up. This is big for them to get back in this ball game. I know you're down 9 runs, but if you just chip away, hit here, hit there, score your first run of the game, good things start to happen. And if he's your team leader, he's got a lead. And it starts with this quality at bat here.
Rips it towards the hole, and it gets through. A Musselman base hit. 2 on, nobody out for Salou. An excellent at bat there for Bill Musselman. Rogers down to second, nobody out. Musselman is a player. He's a junior, so he's draft eligible. And he's made no secret that he would love to play pro baseball. Think somebody takes a flyer on him?
Well, I think so, but he also knows that he's always welcome to come back to St. Louis U. Because he feels like they gave him a tremendous opportunity. First 2 years struggled. this year, obviously having an outstanding year, but he believes in his head coach, Bob Hughes, and he says he would do anything for him.
Hey, Fairhead, Jim!
Here's Bob Hughes, whose team has been blanked through 3, but threatening in the 4th. And the big breaking ball to Tim Landy is a strike.
And that's what the college experience is about. You get college coaches that care about their players. As you watch this nasty breaking ball. But you get college coaches that care about their players. Their players love to play for them. And it's just enjoyable to watch.
Ball and 2 strikes. Bob Hughes gives the signs. 32 wins this year for SLU, most in SLU baseball history. 30 wins had been the previous record, which they accomplished in 1977. Strikeout of Landy for the first out. Second K for Brian Mattis.
When we talk to Bob Hughes, as we look at this breaking ball, nasty breaking ball. That's just a attempt just to foul that ball off. But to continue my thought on Bob Hughes is that you work yourself in a situation to get this far, and you get your players to buy into the fact that we've always felt like we could play at this level. He comes in this year, has a meeting, and says we are going to the NCAA tournament. Made his players believe, and that's exactly what they did.
It's going to go down as one of the great seasons in St. Louis U history, regardless of what happens the rest of the weekend here in Fullerton. Can't say the greatest, because this is a team, a university that did go to the College World Series in 1965, lost to Connecticut, actually beat Connecticut and Florida State, lost to Arizona State twice back in '65, and then their most recent NCAA tournament appearance in '66 lost a couple of 4-3 games to Oklahoma State. Got knocked out. Well, a strikeout of Rodrigue. 2 on, nobody out to 2 on, 2 outs. And it's been a frustrating weekend for Bob Hughes, whose team is not hitting well with runners in scoring position.
And both of those strikeouts have come on that nasty breaking ball. It's always nice to see a pitcher, if you don't feel comfortable with your fastball, to be able to go to another pitch and be successful. But ultimately, if the fastball's what got you here, you got to find a way to get a feel for that in the middle to late innings.
Ball 1 to the shortstop, Ziggy Moore. Ziggy from Holt High School in Wentzville outside of St. Louis. His brother Casey, older brother Casey, also plays for the Billikens. Moore spins away but takes a strike. Two on, 2 outs. 9-0 San Diego, top of the 4th. Here from the Fullerton Regional in an elimination game. Fastball inside from Mattis. Rogers at second. He led off the inning with a walk. Musselman at first. He's singled. 3-1. Freshman Brian Mattis from San Diego facing freshman Ziggy Moore of St. Louis. Strike on the outside corner. Back to the fastball that hit 90, and it's 3-2. Full count with 2 out. The runners will be off with the pitch.
Batting gloves! Batting gloves!
And a walk loads the bases. That is his second walk of the inning and 4th of the game.
Second baseman,
63
Matt
total pitches now for Mattis. He does have more strikes thrown than balls, but
that does not constitute for someone that's going to finish the game. That's for sure.
going to need a lot of one-pitch at bats from hitters to do that. And now he's falling behind Matt Mack, the second baseman.
And the tough part is once you get by this game, you play tomorrow, but you have to play tomorrow 2 games.
If you win, yeah.
If you win it. So, I mean, you're trying to keep your bullpen down to a minimum so that you can keep some extra pitching down there, but you got to win this game first, which is the most important thing.
Some of the decisions Rich Hill is facing at this moment. Back grounded into a double play his first time. Swing and a miss, takes it to a ball and 2 strikes.
And you try not to look ahead, but when you have a big lead, it's kind of hard not to. So you've got to make sure that your pitching lines up, because pitching and defense are your main concern. And San Diego's the 7th best defensive team in the country.
Down to lunge out after one, and he strikes out. And St. Louis U leaves the bases loaded for the second time in this game. It remains 9-0 San Diego. Into the bottom of the 4th inning, San Diego up on St. Louis 9-0. We're joined by head coach Bob Hughes of the Billikens. Coach, it seemed like your team had a chance in the top of the first to kind of set a tone for this game, but missed that opportunity.
It really did. You know, our game plan was to come out, try to be aggressive, try to make something happen in the first inning. We didn't capitalize on it, and the momentum changed over to them, and since that time we've done a pretty good job of hitting their bats for them.
Coach, Eric Rohr started out, struggled. You know, going into the game, what was your thought process in thinking that if he struggled, how long would I let him go? Or if he, you know, dealt, then how far would you have let him go, just based on the fact that in a situation like this, especially with the way the ball's flying, tempo is a main thing.
It really is. You know, we felt good about Eric coming in and starting this game with as many left-handed hitters they have in the lineup. If his changeup was working for him today, we felt that would be a real effective pitch. Obviously, that wasn't the case. So now it's inning to inning, pitch to pitch, and we'll see what kind of changes we have to make as we go along.
Hey, Coach, regardless of the outcome of this game right here, what does this trip to Fullerton and the regional mean for your program?
Well, I think it means a lot. You know, a lot of pride within the university. Everybody back in St. Louis talking about college baseball, which hasn't happened in a long time. Hopefully it's going to help our recruiting opportunities and maybe some other things as well.
Coach, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Head Coach Bob Hughes of St. Louis U, whose team won the Atlantic 10 tournament. Get the automatic bid to the NCAA tournament, their first in 40 years. Bottom of the 4th inning, San Diego. Cleanup hitter Jordan Abruzzo. Hits one high and deep to right field. He's making the bid for his second of the game. Crespi back, and that's gone. A 2-homer game for Jordan Abruzzo, and it's 10-0. Hit the ball in the air to right and watch it fly today. No coincidence that all 4 home runs now for San Diego have been to right center field.
Location, location, location. Fastball up, out over the plate. You had 4 home runs hit the right field. And all 4 have been elevated in the strike zone. And you just don't miss in this ballpark.
It's a 5 RBI game already for Abruzzo, who had an RBI single in the first, a 2-run homer in the second, and now a solo shot in the third, his 7th of the year.
Come on, see what he said, babe.
Ryan Lilly has it fouled back. Lilly 0 for 2. Again, keep in mind, no mercy rule here at the NCAA tournament. We will play 9 regardless of the score. No balls, 2 strikes.
That's a little bit better command. Throws a fastball underneath his hand, strike 1. Throws a nasty breaking ball back on that outside corner. Now he's set up for any pitch.
That's outside, a ball and 2 strikes. Brings up an interesting question. People may be asking, well, if there's a mercy rule during the season in a lot of conferences, this is chopped to third and it's past Rodriguez into left field for a base hit. Why is there not a mercy rule in the NCAA tournament? I guess the simple thing is each game affects the next. So if you were to allow San Diego to only play, say, 5 innings in this game and rest their bullpen, that affects tomorrow.
Well, yeah, it does. Plus, there's different tiebreakers, runs scored, differential, and all the other stuff. So when you're looking at all that stuff, NCAA made an opinion that the best way to do it was to play each and every game out, and I think it's a good one.
Nobody out in the San Diego 4th. Daniel Magnus, the first baseman. A single, a double, and 2 runs scored. And a strike from Dave Seaver on the inside edge. Magnus has upped his average over 300 with his 2 hits. He spent a couple of seasons at Dallas Baptist University. At 372 at Dallas Baptist last year. He's in his first year with San Diego. Ropes one left center field. Geyer, the first out of the inning.
Designated hitter number 4, Logan Gilbert.
So a 1 out. Here's Logan Gelbrick, the DH. Really at first with 1 out. 10-0 San Diego. Bottom of the 4th. Obviously the Torero bats really booming. They got edged out by Fresno State in the first round matchup last night, 9-8. Breaking ball is low. A game they fell behind 4-0. Came back, took a 5-4 lead. Fell behind 9-5. Scored 3 in the 9th to make it 9-8. Had the tying run at third, go ahead run at first with 2 outs. And the game ended in a very bizarre fashion. The 1-0 pitch popped up. Mack, the second baseman, on the dirt. 2 outs. Well, here is how the Fresno State San Diego game ended. Again, keep in mind, runners at the corners. 2 outs, a 1-run game. The step to third, the throw to first, and a pickoff ended the game. And Fresno with a 9-8 win over San Diego, or very easily the Toreros could be on the winner's bracket side today.
And I know, you talked yesterday. That is the first time that I've ever seen that happen. You usually see that play happen.
That's going to hook foul at home run distance. The trees there, but foul.
And it's generally to just make sure that just to see what the runner's doing, if he's going to go. You're not actually trying to pick anybody off. In that situation, he got out there a little bit too far and threw to first base.
I've seen that move work a couple of times over the years, but never for the final out of a game.
No.
Here's picked off to win the game. San Diego still very much alive here, though, in Fullerton. Strike on the inside corner.
They could easily be in the winner's side of this bracket. Fresno State had 5 home runs yesterday. San Diego had 1, but the thing about it is that San Diego's a pesky team. They don't make a whole lot of mistakes. They stay within their means.
Fouled away left side.
And they continue to battle like they've shown today. And just a scrappy ball club.
Shane Buccini. You look at the grip of Dave Seaver. One ball, 2 strikes. Seaver named to the Atlantic 10 All-Rookie team this year. Fouled away. It stays a ball and 2 strikes. Buschini has a run scored. He's singled and walked. He was a unanimous selection, all West Coast Conference first team a year ago. Put a 19-game hitting streak together during that 2005 season. It was the longest by any West Coast Conference player. Fouled again. Lilly is at first with 2 outs. San Diego has scored in every inning. 1 in the first, 6 in the second, 2 in the third, and 1 so far in the fourth. Base hit. Buschini takes it the other way. To second is Lilly. 2 are on with 2 outs. Just hit it where it was pitched.
Yes, he did. But the thing is that when you're a hitter, you're always making adjustments. And then once the other teams make adjustments to you, nice piece of hitting on a fastball running away from it through the hole between short and third. But when you're making adjustments, you've made your adjustments, and now you've got to readjust because the other team's adjusted to those adjustments. So it's always making adjustments, making sure that you know how they're pitching you. That's why you have scouting reports. You see how guys are doing and what they're doing, and a lot of pitchers are going to pitch to their strengths instead of your weaknesses. So you've got to know all that stuff going into a big series. And generally, once you do that, now you take that approach into the ball game.
Fouled out of play. I think there's another chapter right there. Do you see? Adjustments, counter adjustments, the adjustments to the counter adjustments. It never ends.
You got to do it as a pitcher. You got to do it as a player. You got to do it when you're on the bases. You got to do it as a head coach. You got to wonder what the other guy's doing, who he's pinch hitting, what I've got in the bullpen to combat his pinch hitter. I mean, there's so many things that goes through a head coach's mind.
That is high. I have heard that if somebody doesn't adjust to what you're doing, then that's almost strange. It's like, well, why isn't this team reacting to what I'm doing?
Well, that's true. Well, generally, those are the teams that aren't very successful.
2 balls and a strike. Hansen has knocked in a couple of runs. Two balls, 2 strikes. This inning began with a Jordan Abruzzo home run. St. Louis has had some chances. They've left the bases loaded twice. The 2-2. And a strikeout ends the inning. A run on the Abruzzo homer. 3 more hits. Abruzzo's home run. His second of the game. 1 of 4 for the Toreros. And they're up on St. Louis. It's 10-0.
Mike Hall in the ESPNU studios, taking you at a game that's a little bit closer than 10-0. It's Georgia and Florida State down 3-0 with 2 on. Joey Side makes it 3 up with a home run deep to center field. And that's where we stand right now. 3 all in this one. Top of the 6th inning, Florida State and Georgia tied. Back to you, Mark Darnell.
Hey, Mike, thanks. Good one going in Athens. Got a lot more baseball to play here in Fullerton. Not only the completion of this elimination game, but we have the host Fullerton Titans and Fresno State in our later game. This is a perfect evening for some shaved ice. You see some of the Titans waiting. The waiting is the hardest part, I've often heard.
Yes, it
is. I
is.
can quote Tom Petty.
Yes, it is.
Well, this includes the 2 games now for each team. And for St. Louis U, they are hitless with runners in scoring position, 0 for 13. The Toreros obviously have been much more effective. Billikens batting in the 5th. Top of the order, John Geyer has walked and struck out. Left-hander Brian Mattis of San Diego pitching with a 10-run lead. No balls, 2 strikes.
Now he had that little bump in the road, but now he's kind of settled back in. He's throwing his fastball and his breaking ball for strikes. There's that nasty breaking ball.
It's been arguably his best pitch, hasn't it?
It has been, because at some point in time he's lost the feel for his fastball in the second and third inning. So last inning he got a feel for that breaking ball, and here's a good look at that last nasty breaking ball. And there's not much you can do on that.
Tip your cap and move on.
It's a frustrated AB.
Fifth strikeout now for Mattis, who's also walked 4. Shadow's getting a little longer. Ryan Crespi, the right fielder, here in the SLU 5th inning. The outside corner, strike 1. Crespi, whose favorite TV show is The OC. He's living it here in Orange County. 1 ball, 1 strike. There's a liner right off the glove of Mattis and into center field. Crespi with his second hit.
And that's about as good a swing as you're going to see by any hitter. If you ever listen to Tony Gwynn, the head coach at San Diego State University, talk, one of the best hitters ever played. He said if the ball's hit directly back up the middle, back where it came from, that's about as good a swing as you can take. And that right there is rifled right back up the middle.
4th Billikens base hit. He comes with 1 out in the 5th. Here's Johnny Sweeney, hitless today. He has sacrificed in line to first. He has an 18-game hitting streak on the line. Well, the hitting streak continues for Johnny Sweeney. Make it 19 in a row for the SLU outfielder. The NCAA Baseball Regionals continue on ESPNU tomorrow with 2 games. First at 1 Eastern, North Carolina State takes on Texas. And then at 5 Eastern, Stanford awaiting the winner of that North Carolina State-Texas game. How about Stanford? They beat the Longhorns just prior to our game, 12-8. Putting the heat on the defending champions. Of course, Texas, they struggled to get out of their own regional a year ago. Arkansas gave them fits. That's ripped to left field. And a base hit for Rogers. That gets by Romanski. And it's going to score Crespi. Sweeney headed to the plate. 2 runs are in for St. Louis U, and it's 10-2.
That's why you continue to play the game. St. Louis U's had 3 quality at-bats. Fastball out over the plate. Ball takes a bad hop.
It's going to be scored a straight double for Rogers with the bad hop, bringing in Crespi and Sweeney. Romanski hasn't committed an error all year. One just bounced over him. Well, he did get a glove on it. Well, SLU's on the board. Musselman up. Ball 1 is low.
And Brian Mattis can't change his game plan. He's made a couple mistakes this inning. Fastball's up and out over the plate. You got to give the St. Louis U hitters some credit. But you also got to understand that Brian Mattis has been breezing through this game.
Popped up by Musselman. Foul ground. Magnus, with the glasses on, makes the catch. Let's get another update from the studio and check in with Mike Hall. Mike?
Yeah, Mark, perhaps we spoke a little too soon. The next chance Florida State had to answer Georgia, remember there was a 3-run home run? How about we do a 3-run shot of our own? Travis Anderson deep to left and out, and now it's 6-3 Seminoles over Bulldogs.
Mike, thanks very much. Seminoles jumping back on top there in Athens. What a great program that's been over the years. Florida State playing well in Athens this weekend.
Head coach Mike Martin has had a great program there for the last 10-15 years. Beautiful complex, just like this one here at Cal State Fullerton.
Ball inside for Mattis. 2 balls and no strikes. Tim Landy, the first baseman, is grounded to third and struck out. It hits Landy in the box, a foul ball.
I mean, you go anywhere across the country, you go to Clemson, you go to Cal State Fullerton, you go to UCLA, you go to University of Southern California, you go to University of Georgia, Georgia Tech. You've got some of the best facilities across this country. Nice batting facilities where their kids can jump in there and hit year-round. In general, the teams that play year-round, I mean, it's tough for the Midwest teams. But the teams that can play year-round and continue to get their at-bats and get their quality batting practice and been able to throw indoors are generally the teams that have a lot of success when it comes time to go to Omaha.
And number 1 is for Rod Dedeaux. You mentioned USC, Darnell. Even though this is Cal State Fullerton, he was such a huge influence not only on baseball in Southern California but around the country. They opted themselves to put that up here to honor Rod Dedeaux, who passed away this past winter, who not only coached legendary teams across town at USC, but was just one of the greatest ambassadors for college baseball.
Yes, he has been and was, and he'll be sorely missed.
It'll be weird in Omaha this year without Rod Dedeaux around. Here's a visit to the mound by Abruzzo after the walk to Landy. We're going to get a visit from Eric Valenzuela, the pitching coach. Mattis was rolling right along, got the strikeout of Geyer to begin this inning, but then Crespi's hit has started a stretch before the last 5 hitters have reached for St. Louis U.
Well, that's a true testament to St. Louis U. Just continue to battle, not getting out of their game. Yes, they were 0 for 13. They finally got a base hit with runners in scoring position, but they've battled throughout. They've had an enormous amount of opportunities. Again, it's the first time they've been in the tournament for a while. You know, there's a lot of jitters, so you're trying to work through all that. You know, your starting pitcher gets roughed up a little bit, so now you're behind the 8 ball and you're down 10-0. So you've just got to find a way to keep battling and keep giving yourself opportunities. They've given themselves a big opportunity in this inning.
To 87 pitches now from Mattis. One-0 count. B.J. Rodriguez. In at the knees for a strike. Rodriguez grounded to short and struck out swinging.
Well, we talked last inning about Mattis being at 63 pitches and how it was going to be a struggle for him to finish the game. And now you can see that pitch total continues to climb, and we're just in the 5th inning.
In the high outside corner, Rodriguez takes a strike. 1-2. Ryan Mattis made the All West Coast Conference freshman team this year. Breaking ball is up and in. Bob Hughes' team is on the board here in the top of the 5th inning. Beaten by Fullerton 6-1 last night. Trailing by 8 in the elimination game. Big breaking ball up and away.
And that's really how you know that he's starting to tire, when you start leaving your breaking ball up, not finishing, not using your legs. You start throwing with your arm. You're not throwing downhill now, you're throwing uphill.
Runners will go. 2 outs, full count. And the step to second by Mattis.
It's not a bad thing, considering San Diego had it happen to them yesterday.
Turnabout is fair play, huh?
Exactly.
Be a little different spot significant-wise, but nonetheless, ball 4 outside to Rodriguez. The bases are loaded. Well, you get a long one right here, and you've got a game again.
Yes, you do. And St. Louis U, like we talked about earlier, has had the bases loaded 2 other times and didn't get a chance to drive in a run. So they've really kind of shot themselves in the foot as far as hitting with runners in scoring position.
Things are going to get active in the Torero bullpen. 8-hole hitter Ziggy Moore, the SLU shortstop, has a single and a walk. That's into right, into the corner. It will score 2. Rogers and Landy throw towards second. It's cut off at the mound, headed towards third, and a 2-run double for Ziggy Moore. Here comes St. Louis. It's 10-4. 22nd and 23rd RBIs for Moore.
That's Ziggy's second hit to right field today. Doesn't try and do too much. That's the exact approach that you need when you're trying to drive in runs. Not try and do too much, stay up the middle the other way. Does a good job of hitting that ball to right field.
Ninth man to bat in the inning for SLU is second baseman Matt Mack. He rolled into a double play and struck out. Runners at second and third with 2 outs. That's off the glove of Magnus and into right. Rodriguez scoring. Moore held up at third base. It's 10-5. Well, how about this? St. Louis U has cut a 10-run lead right in half.
And the reason Moore was held up, he did not break hard right off the bat. His assumption was that the first baseman, Magnus, was going to catch this ball. Nice swing. Pops off his glove there. But Moore did not break hard from the get-go, which may have cost them, which obviously cost them a run. In the big picture, that may prove costly down the road.
Here's John Geyer, who began the inning striking out. He rips it into left. That scores more. Mack on his way to third. Now he's going to be waved around. Singleton's relay home is high. The tag safe. It's 10-7. And the Billikens are alive and well again here in Fullerton.
Way to go, man!
They've made it a game. Nice piece of hitting. Doesn't try and do too much. Fastball up, out over the plate. Bobbles the ball just a little bit. Watch the turn on this relay throw. Ball's thrown up. But the reason that run is scored, nice slide getting underneath the catcher. Nice slide here getting underneath the catcher, but that run is scored based on the turn at third base. Matt did a great job of making a nice turn, cutting that corner at third base to make that even a close play at home.
So now you've got the tying run in the on-deck circle for St. Louis U. And we're only in the top of the 5th inning.
Hey, bring in his brother. Where's his brother? Keep him in.
Looking like Mattis's day may be finished.
Bring his
So
brother
the
in.
Toreros will go to the pen, and Mattis doesn't pitch long enough to qualify for the win. SLU resurrected here in Fullerton. Well, if you left us for just a few minutes and are just coming back, you're not hallucinating here. St. Louis has scored 7 runs in this 5th inning and have cut a 10-0 deficit down to 3 and are still batting at the top of the 5th inning. They have chased the San Diego starter Brian Mattis. And on for the Toreros, the right-hander, Scott Denault.
Scott Denault's a fastball curveball change. He's generally a situational guy. He's coming in to get out of this situation, which is huge for San Diego. They got to find a way to get out of this inning.
15th appearance for Denault, all out of the bullpen.
He's also another freshman put in a pressure situation.
Hey, here we go.
He inherits a runner at second in Geyer, 2 outs. San Diego's 10-0 lead after 4 innings is now 10-7 here in the top of the 5th. Ryan Crespi.
Let's go, Ryan.
I guess when we talked earlier in the game about the rally caps, San Diego still had them on. And they had a 10-0 lead, so they obviously knew something that we didn't know.
All right.
No rally caps right now, but their lead from 10 down to 3. Crespi has singled twice and scored once. Two balls and no strikes.
And the score is 10-7, and earlier St. Louis U has left the bases loaded twice.
Left them loaded in the 1st and 4th innings. Crespi swings through it, 2 balls and a strike. Crespi is the 11th man to bat in the St. Louis U 5th. Into center field, Snyder coming on, and that drops in. Here comes Geyer, and it's 10-8. 3rd hit for Ryan Crespi. And Slew down just 2.
Slow breaking ball off the outside corner. Center fielder breaks back. This stage does a good job of just keeping that ball in front of him.
Hey, does this look familiar just like yesterday? Let's go.
And you're wondering why Geyer wasn't running very hard.
Sweeney left field. Romansky makes the catch. And the Billikens' 5th comes to an end, but they sent 12 men to the plate and score 8 times. It's a new game in Fullerton. 10-8 San Diego. San Diego 10, St. Louis 8 as we move to the bottom of the 5th inning. Great game going on here. We have more later tonight. The NCAA baseball regionals continue here on ESPNU as the 2 seed of this regional, Fresno State, meets the host team, the 1 seed Cal State Fullerton. The NCAA baseball regionals on ESPNU later tonight at 11 Eastern. For more information, log on to ESPN.com. Cal State Fullerton, by the way, is 5th nationally. We have a new pitcher for St. Louis U. The 3rd of the game is Brock Hewitt.
Brock tops out at 93 miles an hour. He's a spot starter. He's got good numbers. ERA is a little high. The walk to strikeout ratio is right where it needs to be. Giving up a lot of hits, though. But his job now is to come in, throw strikes, get back in that dugout as quick as he can, and keep the momentum on
Hey, Brock, work ahead, Dave.
St. Louis U's side.
It's a little more subdued in the San Diego dugout. It either qualifies for a Raleigh cap or some kind of fin.
Shark.
Shark,
like a shark.
Goes along with the Jimmy Buffett music they're playing.
Wow.
We're back to business here, and Justin Snyder leading off. It's the top of the order for San Diego in the fifth. The Toreros have scored in every inning. Their big frame is 6-run second. By the way, the 8 runs scored by SLU in the top of this fifth inning, the most runs they've scored in an inning all year. Snyder gets under it. Top fly to left. Sweeney waits for it to come down. 1 out. St. Louis, a team that had scored 1 run through 13 innings in this Fullerton Regional, scores 8 in the top of this fifth. Josh Romanski has a home run today. 1 for 2 with a walk and 2 runs scored. Slowly hit. Rodriguez. 2 outs. All right, Goodwin Field on the campus of Cal State Fullerton, the second day of the Fullerton NCAA Regional. Along with Darnell Coles, I'm Mark Neely. This game has certainly taken a turn after a 10-0 San Diego lead through 4. 8 in the fifth for the Billikens. Even though San Diego's hit 4 home runs, their lead is down to 2. Steve Singleton has walked and scored and is 0 for 2. And a strike poured in by Brock Hewitt.
Well, it's taking a turn. It's taking an exciting turn because you're sitting on the other side in St. Louis U's dugout. You're down 10-0. You're just trying to figure out a way to score a run.
Slow tap right side. Hewitt will have to cover the bag and does so. And SLU follows an 8-run top half of the fifth, setting the side down in order for the first time. 2-run lead for San Diego through 5. In this elimination game in the Fullerton Regional, heading to the 6th inning, San Diego 10 and St. Louis 8. And what a wild game this has been, Darnell. The 10-0 lead for San Diego. And then out of the clear blue sky, an 8-run inning for St. Louis. Where did that come from?
Well, I don't know where it came from because they've had 3 innings this game where they've left 2 or more runners. 2 innings with the bases loaded. The thing about it is that they've got to find a way to score runs. Indeed, they did. They had double, they had single, they had runs scoring all over the place. And the thing about them is that they have fought throughout. They felt like they belonged here. They felt like it's been a comfortable experience for them. They just hadn't got that hit in a big situation. And being the fact that they were 0 for 13 with runners in scoring position, they had a huge inning last inning. They finally had an inning where they had an inning where the pitcher finally went 1, 2, 3. And with that having been said, they've tried to get in the dugout as quick as they possibly could so they can get that rally going again.
Look at what the Billikens have done through the first 4 innings. That was during that spell when they did not have a hit with a runner in scoring position, and that all changed when they sent 12 men to the plate in the 5th. And now cleanup hitter Greg Rogers, the DH, will lead off. He's walked twice. He has a 2-run double. He fouls it back, strike 1. Just a different look to the Billikens now. You can almost just physically see a little more giddy up with him.
Aggressive, passion, love for the game. I mean, all that's instilled by their head coach Bob Hughes. I mean, it's tough when you're struggling and you're not scoring runs, but once you get that influx of momentum, good things happen, and they showed that last inning.
Ricky Ball, a strike. We have 22 total hits in this game, 12 by San Diego and 10 for St. Louis. With that breaking ball in the air, left side. And the shortstop Singleton makes the catch. 1 out. Well, the road to Omaha continues with the baseball Super Regionals. You can catch all the action at 8 sites on ESPN and ESPN2. The action begins June 9th, 1 o'clock on ESPN. And for the official results from every NCAA National Championship, go to NCAAsports.com. NCAAsports.com is the official online home for all 88 NCAA championships. Musselman, the catcher, with 1 out. Ball 1 outside. Musselman signaled in the 4th. 1 for 3. Rip set to left field. Romanski makes the catch. Well, this is one of the best balls Musselman's hit all weekend, but caught by the left fielder.
Nice at bat, nice swing. Doesn't try and do too much with a breaking ball. Just rifles that ball out to left field. Short, quick stroke.
Got that one on a good part of the barrel.
Yes, he did.
2 down. Tim Landy has walked and scored 0 for 2. Swings over the top of that. 0-1 count.
Scott Denault got out of a huge situation last inning. Comes right back out firing strikes.
Looked like Landy went after that and did. 2 strikes.
And yes, he did go after that. Anytime the bat starts to come forward, the assumption is that he swung.
1 ball, 2 strikes. This is Denault's game. The starter, Mattis, went only 4 2/3, so he will not get a decision. Breaking ball, strike 3, gets Landy looking. Well, the Toreros answer with a 3-up, 3 down of St. Louis. We played 5.5. San Diego leads St. Louis by 2. Look here at the campus. Cal State Fullerton. The side of this NCAA regional, one of 16 going on this weekend. How about that line score? Yes, it was 10-0 San Diego through 4, and then St. Louis U with their highest scoring output in an inning this year, the 8-run 5th.
And Mark, within that line score, you don't see any errors. Usually in a game like that, you would think that there'd be some errors, but this has been played well defensively. Pitchers have been up in the strike zone. You've seen home runs, you've seen doubles, you've seen triples, you've seen some great base running, you've seen some tremendous slides in the home plate. This has just been a great game.
Bottom 3 up. Middle 3, I should say, and Abruzzo he's hit a couple out of the park. It is 3 for 3. He gets jammed and it's pulled foul. Well, he's hit them both out to right. His first one came in the 2nd inning. Off Dave Sievert, first batter that Sievert was facing. And then an inning later, actually in the 4th, leading off, hit that one out. Now this is live, deep to right, and there's his 3rd of the game. That is not a replay. That is Jordan Abruzzo's 3rd home run of the game, and it's 11-8. It's his 4th hit. What's next?
Man. It's another fastball up in the strike zone. All 3 home runs have been basically in the same spot. And all 3 home runs have been on fastballs up in the strike zone. And he has not missed.
He had 5 homers on the year coming in to lead San Diego, and he's hit 3 today. And it is up the Toreros lead to 3. Lemonade here in the bottom of the 6th. The second time he's led off an inning with a home run. Ryan Lilly in the air to right. Crespi will wait on this one. 1 out.
Well, the question was, would San Diego answer? And question answered. Abruzzo hits another home run.
3-homer game for Abruzzo, the most he's hit in a single game in his collegiate career. So with 1 out, Ryan Lilly takes a strike. Magnus up with 1 out. Couple of runs scored by Magnus. One of his hits is a double, 2 for 3. It's outside from Brock Hewitt. So San Diego has scored in every inning except the 5th. St. Louis U has scored in only 1 inning, that being the 5th. Out of play left side.
So that having been said, every inning we've had some action.
There has been action in every inning here in Fullerton. Now I'm going to go out on a limb. Our second game later tonight between Fullerton and Fresno State will not be as high scoring for 2 reasons. Number 1, the sun's going to be down, and this ballpark's going to play a lot different.
That's true.
And number 2, with no disrespect to the pitching we've seen in this game, there's going to be some quality arms on the mound here in the winner's bracket game later tonight. The 2-2 pitch. Grounded through the hole on the right side. And Magnus with his 3rd hit. Here's what's been going on here in the Fullerton Regional. The winner of this game stays alive to play the loser of the upcoming Fresno State Cal State Fullerton game. The loser of this game is obviously finished. And later tonight, the Bulldogs and Titans, winner of that game is in the driver's seat to play tomorrow. So the winner of our second game would need just 1 more win to take this regional and head to the Super Regionals next weekend. Popped up right side off the bat at Gelbrick and right along the line just into foul territory. Landy with the catch. 2 outs. And Mack, the second baseman, coming right in behind him, breathing down his neck. A little bit of a collision, and
I'm sure that first baseman's not real happy about that, considering he's camped underneath that ball. He literally backed up a step, moved over a step, and he's got absolutely nowhere to go. The ball actually would have caught him. So he's not real happy about the second baseman running over there and running into him.
That's Matt Mack, who has the reputation of being a bit mischievous on this team. That's down the left field side. Slicing, long run, and the left fielder Sweeney couldn't hang on to it.
And that should be our first error of the day, because that's a catchable ball. I know the third baseman was running at him. You're looking there, and the third baseman, you're hearing steps. Only thing I'd say that the left fielder did wrong is that he did not look and see where the third baseman was. So now once you see the third baseman pull up, now you know that you can continue to go full speed and catch that ball. But since he didn't look up, you're hearing footsteps and you're always worried that that guy's going to run into you. So he ended up dropping that fly ball.
Officials scores discretion. So far, they've not assessed an error. The pitch is high. Two balls and a strike. Hewitt's pitch. Foul back and out of play.
I think in that case, the official scorekeeper is probably looking at whether it's a fair or foul ball. Some instances, if you're in the major league, they don't care if it's fair or foul in the stands or whatever. If they feel like you should have caught it, it was an error. And I think that's
Sweeney with his goal. Look at the size of that mitt.
Oh, that's huge. But in college baseball, they may look at that a little different. If it's a foul ball, they may not give an error.
Breaking ball is low. Tell you what, though, you can hide small children in Sweeney's glove. That thing's huge.
Yes, you could.
Full count with 2 outs. Popped up foul, third base side. Here comes Musselman sliding. Look at that effort. Musselman, tremendous play to win the inning. There's that grit we were talking about.
Tremendous effort on Musselman's part. What a catch.
Bill Musselman catching that foul ball to win the inning. Look at this effort. Gorgeous play. We played 6. San Diego 11. St. Louis U 8. The 11-8 San Diego leading St. Louis in what's been a wild game here in Fullerton. We move to the top of the 7th inning, and the NCAA Baseball Regionals will continue on ESPNU tomorrow with 2 games. First at 1 Eastern, the defending champion Texas Longhorns facing elimination. They have to beat Wolfpack or their season is over. Then at 5 Eastern, the winner of that game that survives will face Stanford. The NCAA Baseball Regionals on ESPNU tomorrow. For more information, log on to ESPN.com. On attempt, fouled by B.J. Rodriguez.
Well, the surprising team in that bracket is Stanford.
Team with a lot of history, but surprising the Longhorns today.
Yeah.
They beat Texas 12-8 in Austin. Rodriguez has walked and scored a run 0 for 2. Fair to say, Darnell, right now the fate of this game is in the hands of the bullpens.
Yes, it is. Whichever bullpen throws the best, give their team the best opportunity to win.
Scott Denault came in, finished off that 5th inning when St. Louis U scored 8 times. Popped up, Rodriguez. Left side, Lilly makes the catch. Let's get an update from the studio. Check back in with Mike Hall. Mike?
Thanks, Mark. You might have remembered earlier seeing a score Mississippi trailing South Alabama, but get this, it's 7-up in the 8th, and Chris Coughlin, get out! 2-run homer, making it 9-7 Rebels, bottom of the 8th.
Hey, Mike, thanks very much. That's a great atmosphere in Oxford. I had the privilege of doing the Super Regional down there last year, Ole Miss at Texas. And Texas barely got out of there. Went on and won the College World Series. And I heard some of the Texas players this year say, you know what, Ole Miss, that may have been the best team we faced all last year. And what an environment down in Oxford.
Well, anytime you go and play in a stadium where the fans are passionate about the game, you know, a lot of these college towns or college cities, that's their whole thing. They got a football team, they got a basketball team, and they love their baseball team. And when you have that and you have that passion, those are the places that you want to go play.
The 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball, strike 3 on the outside corner. 2 outs. Moore didn't like the call.
Scott Denault has come in and done a fine job of mixing his pitches, little change up every now and then. Nasty breaking ball in the outside corner. Virtually unhittable, but he's come in and calmed the waters for University of San Diego. They needed just that.
Matt Mack deep in the hole, past Singleton, base hit. And that ends a string of 6 in a row that Scott Denault had retired. Second hit of the day for Mack. Also has an RBI. To the top of the SLU order. Center fielder John Geyer with a big 2-run double in the 5th. One of 2 times that he came up in that inning. Breaking ball spins outside, ball 1. (11-8) San Diego. They were up 10-0 at one point. Looking to bunt. Geyer spins away from a ball inside, 2-0. Denault's done a nice job coming in for San Diego to really add some stability for them on the mound. He did allow an RBI base hit to the first man he faced, Crespi, in the 5th, but got Sweeney to win that inning. He retired 6 straight before the hit here by Mack, and now a 2-1 count on Geyer. Foul back.
You also look at Denault. He gets you out of a tough jam. He throws another inning of fine pitching. Now he's come back out here and done it again, but he's generally a situational guy that comes in for an inning or 2, gets you out of a tough situation like he already has. Now, how far can he go?
2-2, fouled out of play to the right.
Because once you start pushing pitchers that haven't gone long distances, now you tend to get into that area where you don't know exactly what's going to happen. And once you start elevating pitches, we've seen in this game, the ball travels to all portions of this ballpark.
Torero's standing on the front step of the dugout. Grounded to third behind the bag, just foul. Diving attempt by Ryan Lilly. He bounced right near the bag. Nearly an extra base hit for John Geyer. Back on at first with 2 outs. Another foul out of play. John Geyer, who is an elementary education major at St. Louis U. His father John and his mother Donna are both teachers. So maybe something he'll follow in their footsteps someday. A senior from the St. Louis suburb of Hazelwood, Missouri. 2-2 pitch. Runner going, and then the throw is into center field by Abruzzo. And Mack will go all the way to third. He steals his 3rd bag of the year. And goes to third on what will now be the first error of the game. The throw by Abruzzo.
He just tries to get rid of this ball. Actually, the batter got in his way. A good break there. The batter got in his way, which actually made him throw that ball in the right center field.
That's to left field. Romanski on the run, makes the catch. His momentum takes him onto the warning track. SLU a hit, but they strand a runner. They're 7th of the game. It's the stretch time in Fullerton. San Diego is up by 3. We got the grill going here in Fullerton. The runs have been coming in bunches in this one. San Diego 11, St. Louis 8 in this elimination game in the Fullerton Regional. Our game track. San Diego's big inning was a 6-run second. They had a 10-0 lead at the end of 4 before an 8-run fifth for St. Louis got them within 2. A Jared Abruzzo home run. Jordan Abruzzo's home run is 3rd of the game. Let's put San Diego up 3. 25 combined hits. Abruzzo, the catcher for San Diego, 4 hits, 5 RBIs, and a career best 3-homer game.
And I can attest to that because I've been lucky enough to hit 3 home runs in a game twice. Once in the National League for the Pittsburgh Pirates, and once in the American League for the Toronto Blue Jays.
Who'd you hit those home runs off of?
I think I hit 2 of them off on nemesis Jamie Moyer.
Ah.
So every time I see him, every now and then I go up and work a game for the Mariners. And he always tells me, "Darnell, hey, I remember when you took me deep." I said, "Remember, you're still playing."
He is still going strong, isn't he?
Yes, he is. He's special.
3-0 pitch. Strike to Hansen leading off. There's a couple of RBIs, including a suicide squeeze bunt in the 2nd inning. That's getting lost in all this home runs that we have seen. That little small ball we saw early in the game, Hansen's suicide squeeze. Left side, and Rodriguez, who was cheating towards the line, can't get to it, and it's a leadoff hit. We're at Goodwin Field on the Cal State Fullerton campus. Day 2 of the Fullerton Regional. Mark Neely and Darnell Coles. Wild game here in this elimination contest. 11-8 San Diego leading St. Louis University, bottom of the 7th. San Diego lost by a run to Fresno State yesterday in game 1. St. Louis U lost 6-1 to Fullerton. So Fullerton and Fresno State, our 2nd game, coming up a little later tonight. Snyder already showing bunt. Takes high, ball 1.
It's tough to bunt when you had a 10-run lead. Now that you're back to a 3-run lead, now you go back to your small ball, not getting out of your game plan. If it's to move runners, that's exactly what you have to do.
2-0.
And I would think that he has the thought process that if they crash hard, then he has the ability to pull the bat back and slap it by one of the infielders so they're not breaking real hard.
And Hewitt misses again. 3 balls, no strikes.
Hewitt's got to throw a strike. Just let him do it. I mean, what you don't want to do is walk him and allow the next hitter to bunt him over, and then you have runners on 2nd and 3rd.
Taking a strike, 3-1 on Snyder. Rich Hill, the head coach, University of San Diego. He's taking not 1, he's taking 2 pitches there, and it's 3-2.
I'm not sure what he was thinking there, unless he obviously thought that that was a ball. But that looked like a very buntable strike right down the middle of the plate.
Runner going, and the 3-2 pitch whacked into left center field, but Sweeney there to make the grab for the first out. It's going to send up Josh Romansky, who has been a member of the home run barrage for the Toreros today. This in the 2nd inning. Out to right field. His 4th of the year. Five home runs hit by the Toreros today. 3 by Abruzzo, 1 each by Romansky and Snyder. Romansky fouls it back. Josh Romansky, his dad, played college baseball here at Cal State Fullerton. Fullerton recruited Josh, so did Long Beach State, Tulane, Arizona. In fact, he was a 15th round pick of the San Diego Padres in the 2005 Major League Draft. He decided to come to the University of San Diego. He's had a nice freshman season for the Toreros. Hansen back to first. Hansen has to clean himself up. Josh Romansky, the West Coast Conference Freshman of the Year. How to play left side.
And he definitely has some tools. He was a second team All West Coast Conference utility player, which is a position given to somebody based on the fact that they've got too many outfielders or too many infielders.
They put him on that.
Yes, they
say
did.
We got to get him in here somehow, but we can't leave this guy off. Make him a utility.
He's a great outfielder. He's got a good arm. He's got a short, quick swing. He can hit for power. He can hit for average. It's just a matter of getting a little stronger and making your adjustments so that you can start to make yourself an outstanding player.
Romansky also pitches for the University of San Diego. In fact, he's been their closer at times this year. Breaking ball is high, 2-2. Brock Hewitt, a couple of nice innings of relief, the 5th and 6th, despite the home run to Abruzzo, but now falling behind a few of the hitters. Even count here, 2-2. Point you made about Zinal, I guess we could make about Hewitt. How far can he go right now? That's lined into center field. Second hit for Romansky. Hansen down to second. Let's get an update from the studio, see what's going on between a couple of Oklahoma teams. Oral Roberts and Oklahoma State. Mike Hall. Mike?
You got it, Mark. We're in the bottom of the 5th, 2-0 OSU with a man on Chad Rothford. Remember, with great power comes great responsibility, Chad. That ties it up at 2 in the bottom of the 5th, Mark.
Mike, thank you very much. That ORU team, they've been playing very well. University out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Fresno State, we'll see later tonight, has the longest active winning streak. D1 at 16, but then Rice, TCU, and Troy at 11, and ORU right behind them with 9 in a row. Giving the Cowboys all they can handle in the regional in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Here in Fullerton, the elimination game, 11-8, San Diego leading St. Louis U. 2 on, 1 out, bottom of the 7th for the Toreros. Steve Singleton takes way high. Hewitt starting to see his command affected here.
Which is based on you stretch them out a little longer than you should. And then now you're in that area where you don't know exactly what you're going to get. You may get a good inning, or you may get an inning where he struggles like this one.
Into right field, base hit. Will it score Hansen? He's being waved around. The throw by Crespi to the plate. The one hopper is late. Now they've got 2 runners in the middle of the diamond. The throw went to first, now to the other side of the diamond, and out at third is the call. Romansky retired. Well, San Diego gets a run, but they lose A man on the bases, 2 outs.
Nice piece of hitting. Drove this ball into right field. But with that, you have the responsibility of running with your head up. Steve Singleton did not. He goes into second base. And now they end up throwing the runner out at third. If you'd ask him, that was a bad piece of base running on his part, running with your head down. You always have to run with your head up, knowing that the runner in front of you may stop. If that having been said, it would have been a run-scoring single, but you end up getting a runner thrown out at third.
Well, that's going to be all for Hewitt. San Diego led by 10 runs at one point. Saw that lead reduced to a couple. Now they're back up by 4. We'll take a timeout here in Fullerton. Billikens go to the pen. It's a 12-8 lead for San Diego in the bottom of the 7th of this elimination game. On the hill for St. Louis now, their 4th hurler, Eric Mueller.
We finally get a look at a sidearm guy. He was over the top, had Tommy John surgery in 2004. Became a lot easier for him to throw from the side. Continued to have a few arm problems. Generally 84 to 90, has a tremendous amount of movement based on he is throwing sidearm. He's got to come in with tremendous movement to get out of this jam. Became the closer late in the year. But he needs to get out of this jam to give them a chance to get back and score some runs, because you can't let the lead start to evaporate any more than it already has.
And he faces Jordan Abruzzo. What's he done today? Well, he's 4 for 4 with 3 homers, 5 RBIs. Career high 3-homer game. Up with a runner at second. 2 outs. Ball 1 from Mueller. You got Abruzzo, a switch hitter, batting here at first base open. Right-handed hitter Lilly on deck. You could easily pitch around him here if they elect to, and now it's 2-0. How many home runs does a guy have to hit before you pitch around him?
I got to believe 3.
3 is it? Is that the threshold?
That is the threshold.
Well, he fouls that away left side.
But as a hitter, you're still trying to be aggressive, and Bill Musselman going out and telling him that was just a little too close, big guy. You need to find a way to get that ball a little further out. You're trying to walk him. Like I started to say, Abruzzo, as a hitter, when you're seeing the ball well, you feel like you can hit everything. You want to make sure you kind of stay within yourself and not try and do too much, so that you just don't get yourself out on a silly pitch out of the strike zone.
The 2-1 to Abruzzo. Outside, 3 balls and a strike.
The next pitch should be in about the same spot. See Bill Mueller will move late to the outside corner.
And there's ball 4. They walk Abruzzo. No surprise there. 2 on, 2 outs, and Mueller and Slew will take their chances instead with Ryan Lilly, a right-handed bat. And that sidearm delivery is going to be a lot more effective against a righty, isn't it?
Oh, without question.
Lilly 1 for 4. He singled in the 4th. Ball 1 inside. When it's a right-on-right like this with a sidearmer, does the ball look like it's coming out of his knee or something like that?
It does, and also your first move is to turn and try and pull the ball to the third baseman. Your front shoulder flies out, which usually leads to rolling over on ground balls with that sinking action on that fastball.
Will chop over the mound, charged by Mack. He gets to it, and the stretch down the line by Landy, who stayed on the bag. San Diego, though, does add a run on 3 hits. Now at the end of 7, it's the Toreros by 4. Here at Fullerton, the elimination game, heading to the top of the 8th inning. San Diego 12 and St. Louis University 8. A wild game we have had in the 2nd inning. Abruzzo began his home run assault. That one out to right, a 2-run shot. Then in the 5th, SLU came alive, scoring 8 times. They were down 10-0. Have their highest scoring output in a single inning all year. They get right back in the game. This 8-run 5th. That scored more. Also brought in Mack. Then it was the Abruzzo show again. That's his 3rd home run of the game, number 8 on the year. How about this play from Bill Musselman? This shows you the grit and determination of the SLU catcher. A foul ball that ended the 6th inning. And now Josh Romanski, who was in left field, shifts over to the mound.
Josh, fastball, curveball change, generally 87 to 90. He is the closer. He comes in, he's a two-way player, occasionally DHs. Very competitive, got a great head on his shoulder. So he's coming in to get a 2-inning close.
There's his strike.
Doing everything that he does, it's a very difficult, because you've got to have a mindset when you're pitching. You got to have a little bit different mindset when you're hitting.
Crespi, right center field, hit well. Buccini, it's over his head, and one hops the fence. Crespi, a double. It's his 4th hit of the game. And the kid from Sparta, New Jersey, leading the SLU attack.
The St. Louis U team does not quit. Fastball up, a little bit in, does a good job of bringing his hands in. And hit this ball hard to right center field.
Johnny Sweeney with a base hit in the 5th. He's 1 for 3 with a sacrifice. The base hit gave him a 19-game hitting streak. Outside from the lefty, Romanski. Strike call, 1-1. David Harris has replaced Romanski in left field, and by putting the left fielder on the mound, giving up their DH. 1-1. Breaking ball, that's bounced towards the middle, and a hit for Sweeney. Crespi headed for the plate. Snyder's throw home is cut off. And SLU within 3. It's 12-9. St. Louis U has to be thinking, where was this offense the first 13 innings of this Fullerton Regional? They've really come alive.
Johnny Sweeney doesn't try and do too much. Stays right back up the middle on a breaking ball. Nice piece of hitting. He just has continued to stay short and quick. Got 2 hits in last night's game against Cal State Fullerton. Continues to stay hot today against the University of San Diego.
We have 30 combined hits in this game. 17 for San Diego, 13 for St. Louis, and now Rogers is hit by pitch.
And that's also a pitch where he's not trying to hit him. Why in the world would you hit him? To bring the tying run up to the plate. Just a fastball that he overthrew. Tried to get that ball in, and he definitely got it in. Just a little bit too far.
Rogers has already walked twice today, on for a 4th time. This time the hit by pitch. And Eric Valenzuela, the pitching coach for the Toreros, comes out. As you mentioned, Darnell, the tying run is going to come to the plate here for St. Louis U with nobody out in the top of the 8th inning.
Now, if I'm head coaching in this situation, I bunt to give yourself a chance to score 2 instead of 1. Because if you let him swing away, he hits a ground ball, it's a double play. Next guy gets hit, you give yourself a chance to score 1. If you bunt him over and you have runners on second and third and you get a base hit, you score 2. I mean, there's options to go that way, but if I'm head coaching, I bunt him over to give yourself a chance to make this a 1-run game.
So the fact that this is the 8th and not the 9th, that's a huge difference.
Huge difference indeed.
You don't have to play for all 3 right here. Musselman 1 for 4 with a single. He lined out sharply to left field his last time up. He hit a ball right on the screws. He takes a pitch, strike 1. (12-9), University of San Diego leading St. Louis University in this elimination game in the Fullerton Regional. Romanski's 0-1. Pop fly right field. Lucchini. 1 out. They didn't take your advice, Darnell. There's the first out of the inning.
Even though Bill Musselman flew out to right center field, you give away an out without moving a runner up, which makes it a difficult process to score runs. Now you have to get a base hit to score a run. Once you get a runner to third, you got a wild pitch, you got a ground ball not scoring on, and you're allowed to score on a ball where there's a force play, fielder's choice. So you give yourself a few more options if you bunt in that situation.
Tim Landy 0 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. Now you got a left on left situation, and Romanski misses high. St. Louis U was down 10-0 through 4 innings in this game. Two balls, no strikes.
Plus, in a situation like this, you'd think that, well, why don't they try and steal? A lot easier to steal with a right-handed hitter up because the catcher's got to throw through the hitter instead of having a left-handed hitter up.
Check swing, did he go? Third base umpire Mark Ditzworth said he did go around.
Continue that thought. Instead of having a left-handed hitter, and you have a free will throw. Did he go? Yes, he did. So far, all 3 games, these umpires have been all over every call.
They've done a nice job.
They've done a very good job.
For 5, 3 balls and a strike. Romanski keeps missing up with that fastball.
And that's the hard part about coming from the outfield. 2 totally different throws. When you're pitching, you got to kind of shorten it so that you stay in your little box throwing the home plate. When you're in the outfield, you got to have a long throw so that you can get distance behind it, and it's a lot tougher to come from the outfield.
Full count. Landy, who also has pitched during his career at St. Louis U. But his shoulder injury ended those days for him on the mound. Full count with 1 out. And there's ball 4, and St. Louis U has loaded the bases with 1 out.
This pitch is just off the plate. As the catcher set up on the outside corner. The ball's 5-6 inches off the plate. Head coach Rich Hill is not real happy. You see the stress on his face, considering he had a 10-run lead at some point in this game.
10-0 San Diego after 4. SLU scored 8 in the 5th and got back in it. B.J. Rodriguez surveys ball 1 low.
And this is the 3rd time St. Louis U has had the bases loaded.
Left the bases loaded in the top of the 1st without scoring. Left the bases loaded without scoring in the 4th. Strike call.
Fastball right at the knees. There's no doubt that was a strike.
Two balls and a strike. Good hitters count here for Rod Reed. He was 0 for 3 today. He walked and scored in their 8-run 5th.
Key here is not to try and overswing. Generally, left-handed pitchers have a lot of movement. Just stay within yourself.
That is high, 3-1. Also Holzhauer up in the San Diego bullpen. Bases loaded, 1 out for SLU, and a 3-1 to Rodriguez. Ball 4 forces in a run, and it's 12-10. Second walk, back-to-back walks allowed by Romanski, who's also hit a batter in this inning. Rich Hill has to be more than a little concerned right now.
Yes, I'm sure he is. St. Louis U has done a fine job of checking out pitches, making sure that they get a strike. In a lot of instances, you're taking a strike just to see if you can get him to throw the ball over the middle of the plate. But now you still want to stay aggressive. You don't want to give strikes away, especially in hitters' counts. So you got to make sure that when you get a good pitch in a hitter's count, that you take a good swing at it.
Ziggy Moore takes a big rip. The breaking ball, strike 1. Moore with a 2-run double in the 5th.
Another off-speed pitch. Most of the time he's been not getting his fastball over, so if you don't have a feel for your fastball, you got to figure out a way to get one of your other pitches over and get comfortable.
0-2. Obviously he's a little more comfortable with that on-speed pitch right now. There's another one.
And like we talked about earlier, you come from the outfield, you got to shorten your throw as far as getting on the pitcher's mound. So to shorten it, you may have to go to that breaking ball just to get a feel for that fastball.
Two runs in the SLU 8. Bases loaded, 1 out, and 0-2 to Ziggy Moore. Protecting, went up after it and fouled it back. Romanski went to the fastball on 0-2. It's been totally different for St. Louis U. With runners in scoring position before the 5th inning of this game, they were 0 for 13 in this Fullerton Regional with runners in scoring position. They've been much more proficient recently, and that's hit down the right field side and lands foul. St. Louis U with the tying runs in scoring position and the go-ahead run also on base.
The situation now, you just got to cut your swing down and find a way to put the ball in play. If you can run, it'll be tough to turn a double play. You just don't want to come away with this at bat with nothing. You don't want to strike out. You want to pop up to the infield. Worst case scenario, you hit a ground ball to the right side, you move the runners, you end up runners on second and third, you end up scoring a run, but you cannot in a situation like this, not have a good at bat.
A strikeout, 2 down. First K for Romanski, and he gets that in a big spot for San Diego.
That's a huge spot on that breaking ball down and in. You see the frustration there.
Moore couldn't lay off. He's the second out. Second baseman Matt Mack. Romanski gets ahead with strike 1.
Now he's starting to get a feel for that fastball after throwing 3 nasty breaking balls to the previous hitter. Starts this hitter off with a fastball right down the middle.
Check swing inside to Mack. 2 hits and 4 ABs for Mack. A couple of singles. An RBI, a run scored. One. Up the middle. Cut off. Singleton. Wild throw. And St. Louis U has come back and tied this game at 12. Well, Singleton did a good job to keep it on the infield, but probably should have eaten that one.
He did a great job of keeping it on the infield. Nice play. Again, like you said, that's a throw that you should not make. He ranges way to his left up the middle. He'll come in the pitcher right there. Makes a great play, but you cannot make that throw. Outstanding hustle. Bad throw.
Midfield hit and a throwing error. Rogers and Landy each scored. So now here's St. Louis U. They've come all the way back from being down 10-0. Tied it at 12 here in the 8th with runners at second and third, 2 outs. It was the second error committed by San Diego. Bounced to third behind the bag. Fielded by Lilly. Throw to first. Finding the sun. He dropped the ball. He held it long enough. Magnus hung on. And that's the final out of the inning. But St. Louis U sends 9 men to the plate and score 4 times to tie this one up. Lilly. And to get this ground ball behind the bag. Magnus fighting that setting sun. The stretch hung on long enough. The runner knocked it out. We're tied at 12. How about this game? Both teams fighting for their lives. St. Louis U down 10-0 through 4 innings. Has used the big inning, 8 in the 5th, and then 4 in the top of this 8th inning, and have tied it at 12. Going to the bottom of the 8th with San Diego coming up. This game's had a little bit of everything.
Yes, it has.
And the San Diego 8th. Magnus leads off. It's Derek Mueller, ball 1. 3-hit game. Magnus has also scored twice. It's outside. 12 runs, 17 hits, 2 errors for San Diego. 12-14-0 for St. Louis U. Strike on Magnus.
Mark, the thing about Daniel Magnus is that he had a illness early in the season. He sat out a month. He was red hot before that. He was 4 for 5 against arch rival San Diego State. So he was feeling pretty good about himself and came up with an illness. Had to sit out a month. His first action's been back in this tournament. He's been swinging a hot bat.
And Mueller walks the leadoff man in the bottom of the 8th inning. Mueller's worked just 1/3 of an inning. That's going to get a visit from the dugout. Wes Sells, the pitching coach, is out for St. Louis U.
And as quickly as he jogged out there, that's just calm down. Don't worry about it. I know that the game's tied. It's on you now, but don't try and do too much. Stay within yourself. Because when you start to overthrow, you start to elevate. And when you're a sinker ball pitcher, all you're trying to do is make sure your arm stays in the arm slot so that you continue to get movement down in the strike zone.
We have a pinch runner for San Diego, Mike Lugo.
This is a most definite bunting situation.
So Lugo running for Magnus. Logan Gelbrick. Due up. Harris actually, who came in this spot when they made the change, sending Romansky from left field to the mound, gave up their DH. Harris shortening up and takes outside, ball 1. You know, David Harris would like to make up for what happened at the end of last night's game right here.
And his job is one thing and one thing only get this bunt on the ground.
He pulls back and takes high, 2-0.
But now, total different situation than when you have a runner on first and second and you're bunting the ball to third. With the runner on first, you need to bunt this ball to first to make it a lot tougher throw for the first baseman, because if he bunts it and he bunts it too hard to the third baseman, they may have an opportunity to turn a double play since he's facing second base.
Strike on the outside corner. This is the end of yesterday's game. Harris is at first. And the pickoff ended it, and Fresno State beats San Diego 9-8.
And you definitely have to feel for him. But you also know that Rich Hill has confidence in him because he put him right back out there in left field. And now he's up in a crucial situation trying to get a bunt down.
Runner going, a delayed steal, and he got in there. The shortstop Moore taking the high throw from Musselman. And Lugo gets a big steal for San Diego.
And that's a big time call by head coach and third base coach Rich Hill. He's delayed steal here because he's looking the whole way. So it wasn't as if he was trying to steal that base, but now it's still an opportunity to move him over. And you've got to find a way to get this ball on the ground. If you're swinging, you want to pull the ball on the ground to the first baseman or the second baseman. And if not, now's the time to bunt the ball in the direction of the third baseman so that you have an opportunity to move that runner to third base.
Rich Hill has a word with Harris.
He's having more than a word. He wants to make sure. He wants to make sure that they are on the same page.
It's an elimination game, so the losers' 2006 season is over. Winner survives to play tomorrow and would play the loser of an upcoming game between Cal State Fullerton and Fresno State. (3-1) from Mueller. And it's ball 4 outside. Back-to-back walks. Steal in between, but nonetheless 2 on, nobody out. With the Toreros in the bottom of the 8th. Shane Buschini in a situation to bunt again.
You still got a bunt. I don't think that you can take a chance on anything but that, based on the fact that you are trying to win the game now. And to do that, you've got to score a run and then go back next inning and shut them down.
He squares and takes a strike. Buschini, 2 for 3, 2 singles, a walk and a run scored. His job right now is to move the runners. Bunted towards third. He gets it down. Rodriguez, low throw, and it rolls away. Here comes the go-ahead run. Lugo scores. Here's Harris held up at third. Well, a throwing error has given San Diego back the lead at 13-12.
And now you know why you bunt in that situation. It's a tough field. The sun is right over the third baseman's head. So he throws a ball, which really wasn't that bad a throw, but with the sun, it makes it a lot tougher. Nice job here, bunted it a little too hard. There's the throw. Throws catchable ball. It didn't hit the ground. It hit his glove in the air. Now that run scored. Good base running by the secondary runner there, not running into an out, running with his head up. Saw that Coach Hill stopped the runner at third to give them a tremendous opportunity to have a big inning.
Runners are at second and third, nobody out. Infield in for St. Louis U. 9-hole hitter up, Kevin Hansen. Ball too low from Eric Mueller.
When you're hitting off a sinker baller, you've got to try and make him elevate pitches. Both of those balls were down and sinking in the strike zone, which with the infield in, those would be balls that you'd hit ground balls to the infielders. You want to make sure you get something that you can get in the air.
That's to right center field. Will it be deep enough? It looks like it will. Catch made by Geyer. His throw is going to come towards third base, and that was the right move. It does score the second run of the inning, and a sac fly for Hansen, his third RBI of the game, and it's 14-12 San Diego.
That is about as good and bad as you're going to see in a situation where you're trying to drive a run in. Doesn't try and do too much. Ball's at the right center field. Runner tags, 2 steps into his throw, scores easily. But tremendous job by Kevin Hansen. He's got a squeeze bunt today. He's got a base hit, and he's got a sacrifice fly to right field. So he's done exactly what head coach Rich Hill has needed him to do.
That's quite a variety of contributions there, as you mentioned. Suicide squeeze, the sac fly, the base hits. Top of the order, Justin Snyder, the center fielder. Is it a 2-run home run? And knocked in 3. 2 balls, no strikes. Now Rich Hill's team knows they'll take a lead for the top of the 9th, which if you had asked them that after 4 when they were leading 10-0, that would have seemed like a foregone conclusion. But this story has had a lot of twists and turns. 3 balls, no strikes. This inning began with a walk. How often is that the case when things fall apart?
That's generally the case.
He walks Snyder on 4 consecutive pitches, his 3rd walk of the inning, his 4th walk in his appearance, which has only gone 2/3 of an inning.
And irregardless of who wins this game, this has been an outstanding game. Both sides have played hard. Both sides have got a chance to score runs. And I think that this has been a very exciting baseball game.
Josh Romanski, who's now the pitcher. He's the pitcher of record right now. Goes after it, fouls it back, strike 1. No activity in the St. Louis U bullpen.
Which is kind of surprising, considering the fact that you're just trying to find a way to get out of it. I don't care if you got to use every pitcher in that bullpen to get out of this thing. You got to figure out a way to get out of it. And Coach Bob Hughes knows his staff better than we do, so he knows exactly what he's doing.
0-1 to Romanski. Foul back. That's long shadows here this time of the evening. The setting sun. We're at Goodwin Field on the Cal State Fullerton campus. (14-12). San Diego leading St. Louis U. The 0-2. St. Louis U has used 4 pitchers. The starter, Eric Rohr, went just an inning and 2/3. Dave Seaver came on through 2 1/3. Rock Hewitt through 2 2/3. Mueller has worked 2/3 of an inning. Here's the 1-2. Scooped up by Musselman. (14 runs for San Diego on 17 hits. St. Louis U 12 runs, 14 hits. Toreros have 2 on, 1 out. They've already scored twice here in the bottom of the 8th to reclaim the lead. Fouled out of play. Two-two pitch. Another foul. University of San Diego has scored in every inning except the 5th. That's when St. Louis U scored 8 to get back in the game. They scored 4 in the top of the 8th to tie it at 12. And San Diego back in front 14-12 here last of the 8th. Full count. Two hits for Romanski, including a solo home run. One of 5 homers hit by San Diego, 3 of them, though, from one player, their catcher, Jordan Abruzzo. Runners are going with 1 out. It's ball 4 outside to load them up. 4th walk of the inning.
Still no activity in that bullpen.
Rich Hill head coach of San Diego on the left. Bob Hughes, head coach of St. Louis U on the right. The teams have battled in a wild one here on this Saturday in Southern California. Now after ball one, Musselman out to talk with Eric Mueller.
And both coaches have experienced a tremendous amount of anxiety. When you go up 10, you give up some runs, you bring the other team back in the ball game. So now you're worried about your pitching. On the other side, you got to worry about your starter getting knocked around. You get back in the ball game. Your relievers hold them for a while. Now you got to worry about your pitching again.
I mean, Malock's just thinking about all that.
You ain't kidding.
2 balls, no strikes. Sounds like coaching, head coaching, managing is a little tough on the gastrointestinal system.
Yes, it is. That's why that's why the major league coach or manager has a pitching coach.
2-0. That's ball 3, and with the bases loaded, he's got nowhere to put Singleton without forcing in a run.
That he relies on a lot. You have a hitting coach that you also rely on, but then you have a bench coach that's the buffer between those two. So you're always got things going on at all times.
Andy over to say something to Mueller. Right now, the message from the St. Louis U dugout is, Eric, this is your game right now. You need to throw strikes.
And you have nowhere to put him.
3-1. Singleton facing Mueller. 14-12 San Diego, bottom of the 8th. 3-1 pitch. Full count. RBI single for Singleton in his last at bat an inning ago. Full count, 1 out, bases loaded. And he walked it. And it's 15-12 San Diego. 3 consecutive walks and 5 in the inning. After coming all the way back from 10-0 down, they finally tied the game at 12 with 4 in the top of this 8th. It's been a 3-run bottom of the 8th now for San Diego. With 5 walks, they have not had a hit in this inning. 5 walks, a sacrifice which actually turned into an error, and a sacrifice fly for the only out of the inning. And now you deal with Jordan Abruzzo, who's already homered 3 times today. At the plate with the bases loaded, bounces it fair, pass first into the right field corner, and this may clear the bases. Snyder and Romanski come in. Singleton's going to try to score, and he will. A base-clearing double for Jordan Abruzzo, who has had a career game. And it's 18-12 San Diego. 8 RBIs for the San Diego catcher, Jordan Abruzzo. What a day.
You work yourself into a situation like that, nibbling. And when you nibble, it generally comes back to haunt you. And now, after Jordan Abruzzo hit 3 home runs, last at bat they walked him. Now you run a sinker down and in. And Jordan is definitely in the happy zone. And he gets a pitch that he hits a chopper over the first baseman's head and drives in 3 more with that double.
Snyder, then Romanski, and Singleton comes in as well. Then a 6-run inning for San Diego. 42 pitches from Mueller in 2/3 of an inning, and he will depart. So the 5th pitcher for SLU, Etienne Rattade Delorme, who pitched in their game against Fullerton last night, comes in. So a timeout here in this Fullerton Regional in the elimination game. San Diego leading St. Louis by 6. It has been a 6-run bottom of the 8th inning so far for San Diego after a 4-run top of the inning. They brought St. Louis all the way back to tie it at 12, but Jordan Abruzzo, we'll talk about a monster day. He is 5 for 5, 3 home runs, 8 RBIs. You know, yeah, he's walked once, so he's reached base all 6 times up.
Stay hot. Man.
It's smoking. That'll even get a grin from St. Louis's Matt Mack. Etienne Rete Delorme from Quebec, Canada, pitches for a 2nd straight game.
The senior comes in to try and stop the bleeding. Currently 82 to 86 mile an hour. Nasty curveball. Tremendous movement on his pitches when he's down in the strike zone. Struggles when he's up. His job now is to find a way to get out of this inning with the hope that St. Louis has another rally in him.
Ryan Lilly hits the first pitch to short. Ziggy Moore makes the play. 2 outs. Now Lugo is going to get an at bat when he came into this inning as a pinch runner. A 5 from Rete Delorme. 2 outs, bottom of the 8th. Lugo takes high, 2 balls, no strikes. Mike Lugo, a freshman in Medora, California. Went to Bishop Amat High School.
Hey, who'd you say it looked like?
His first at bat plate appearance of this regional. He hasn't seen the plate a whole lot this year. Only 4 at bats on the year. And he'll remember this one, whatever the outcome.
This is definitely the biggest at bat for him this year.
2-1 pitch. 3 balls and a strike.
Looks like he has a nice approach. Hadn't tried to do too much. As a freshman, you come in, you're just trying to wait your turn. And when you get your opportunities, make the most of it.
It's fouled back. 5 walks in the inning. 9 in the game now. Handed out by St. Louis U pitching. The 18 runs scored by San Diego, a season high. And 18 hits, which is also tied a season high for the Toreros. And Abruzzo with his 3 homers and 8 RBIs, those are both San Diego's single game records. No Toreros ever had a bigger day. We're probably in a bigger spot than Jordan Abruzzo today. The smiles starting to come back onto the faces of the Toreros, who blew a 10-0 lead in this game. 3-2 pitch. Up the middle. Shortstop Moore. Off balance. And he can't dig it out. And here comes Abruzzo to score. It's 19-12. So it's a new season high for runs for the Toreros. Error is charged on the shortstop Moore.
Nice play here, but he doesn't have to throw on the run. If he sets his feet, that's a lot easier play. with the run, you throw running the ball over to first base, you throw a sinker to first base, and first baseman did a good job of trying to scoop that ball, but that's a play that Ziggy should have set his feet and thrown a strike to first base.
David Harris up with 2 outs. Strike 1 from Rete DeLorme. So it's been a 7-run bottom of the 8th now for San Diego. Again, it was tied 12-12. The 0-1 pitch, fouled back. 9 walks issued by Slew. We're going to see a pitcher in our second game tonight for Cal State Fullerton, Wes Romer, whose strikeout to walk ratio is superhuman. He has 113 strikeouts on the year, 4 walks. You heard that right. No 2 is high. 113 strikeouts, 4 walks in 125 2/3 innings. That's our second game coming up. I looked at that on the stat sheet the first time and said, that can't be right.
That's a typo.
That's insane. That's our second game coming up a bit later. Runner going. The pitch is outside. A throw to second base off the glove of the shortstop Moore. Mack has to chase it down. Up 7, San Diego running. Lilly with the steal, is 6th of the year. Well, I guess the Toreros have seen Slew score 8 in 1 inning already today and think, well, heck, it's a 7-run lead, but keep the foot on the accelerator.
Oh, you have to. There's no getting around that.
And the bottom of the 8th has come to an end. But San Diego scored 7 times, and now Slew down to their final 3 outs.
Mike Hall and Will Kimmy after the game will have a 50-minute wrap-up show, but for now, here's a highlight. Oklahoma State against ORU. ORU. Chad Rothford with 5 ribbies in the game for the entire team.
Big night for the big fella.
So, Mark, it is 5-4, and we'll see you in an hour when this half inning ends.
Mike, we've seen a few long half innings ourselves here in this game. That pretty well proves the point. That line score there. San Diego scored in every inning. Brandon Kwan takes over at first base for the Toreros, who are 3 outs away from surviving and advancing to play tomorrow against the loser of the upcoming game between Cal State Fullerton and Fresno State. Here's Romansky, who would be the winning pitcher here if he hangs on to it. Blew the save chance. And St. Louis scored 4 in the top of the 8th to tie it at 12. And now could get a win. Ryan Crespi leads off. Heart of the order in the Slew top of the 9th. 4-hit day for Ryan Crespi. 3 singles, 1 extra base hit. Two balls and no strikes.
Johnson's job now is just to throw strikes. He struggled last inning with his control. Now he's just got to find a way to find the plate.
On the inside corner, 2-1. St. Louis University in their first NCAA tournament in 40 years. We're down to their final 3 outs, trailing by 7 in the top of the 9th. 3 balls and a strike. With the way this game has gone, St. Louis U probably won't go quiet.
First baseman Tim Landy, who's already graduated. You can see the emotion on him when we talked to him the other day, and how proud he was of his teammates and the St. Louis Ball Club, considering what they've been through the last couple years, and to come out and play the type of baseball that they played this year, led by that man right there, head coach Bob Hughes. It's been just stellar.
Got jabs, slow roller, Singleton, close, out, one gone in the ninth. St. Louis U disagrees. The field is set, the game's already underway in Oklahoma City for the Women's College World Series. All of the action can be seen on ESPN and ESPN2. Check your local listings for game times and matchups all this week for the official results from every NCAA National Championship, including a complete update of the 2006 Women's College World Series. Go to NCAAsports.com. NCAAsports.com is the official online home for all 88 NCAA championships. Strike one to Sweeney. 2 hits. One ball, 1 strike. Well, if St. Louis U is beaten here, Sweeney's going to end the season with a 19-game hitting streak. That's a pretty strong way to close out the year. Rocket foul to the left. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
I can say this knowing that you talked to Bob Hughes and you know the way he feels about his players, is that they definitely were well represented. The city of St. Louis, the state of Missouri, can be very proud of the fact that these gentlemen came out here and played their hearts out. And from where they had to come from to get here, that makes it even more special.
Tim Landy, his seniors, looks like playing his final game. Sweeney, who's at the plate, senior as well. So he'll end his collegiate career with that 19-game hitting streak. Now it's a full count. One out, nobody on in the SLU 9th inning. And he chased. It probably would have been ball 4. Strikeout of Sweeney, 2 away. Well, the NCAA baseball regionals continue here on ESPNU. Later tonight, we'll have the top 2 seeds in this Fullerton regional, Fresno State and Cal State Fullerton. The NCAA baseball regionals on ESPNU later tonight. We were scheduled for an 11 p.m. Eastern start. We'll be a little bit late from that because of the length of this game, but we'll have it for you live here from Fullerton. SLU down to their final out of this 2006 season. A 32-win season for SLU, the most in school history. There was Bird, you saw. Ryan Bird, who started yesterday's game. Hit foul into the seats.
Ouch. Trying not to hurt somebody. A couple guys, when you hit a ball that hard, you're seeing guys jumping out of the way. You know that ball was hit. That ball was hit hard.
DH Greg Rogers. There's a couple of RBIs. Here's the Fullerton team waiting to first foul. Two outs. Ball and 2 strikes. Here it comes. Little roller back to the mound. And San Diego blew a 10-run lead, but they win it 19-12 and survive. St. Louis U's season over. They finish at 32-29. So a great game here won by San Diego by 7. Again, our final score, San Diego 19 and St. Louis University 12. Join us later tonight for Fresno State against Cal State Fullerton. We've already had one wild one from here in Southern California. We expect another. San Diego wins at 19-12. Let's get you back to the studio with Mike Hall and Will Kinney.